From Augusta, Georgia on this Friday night, it's the Augusta Christian Lions hosting the Lippen Falcons. It's week number 5. It's the AugBball Game of the Week powered by SUVtv. And hello one more time, everyone. Of course, we've got a long road to go, but we are excited to be back with you here on SUVtv. Corey Hodges, Sly the Sports Guy, Sylvester Williams. And Sly, we had last week off, gave us all a chance to catch our breath, get ready for week number 5. This should be an exciting one, certainly a very exciting, homely type venue. Reminds me of back home. You've got the great crowd on hand, and it's close confines here at the home of Augusta Christian. So a couple things you're looking ahead towards tonight, a couple keys to the game. We'll start with those first. We'll have a look around at the coaches, some of the pregame festivities as always, but a couple of key points you're looking ahead to tonight. Keys to the game presented as always by Lineage of Champions.
Keys to the game. We'll start off with keys to the game. Reel in the run. Reel in the run. If you are Augusta Christian, you must reel in the run, and it's two names that's going to stand out. The first one is Jeremiah Ula. Jeremiah, he's averaging 84 yards a game, 1 touchdown a game. And the other guy, Will Taylor, the quarterback. It's rare when you say reel in the run and you're worried about the quarterback. But this guy, he's averaging, Will Taylor, the Clemson baseball commit, Will Taylor, is averaging 129 yards on the ground. That's reel in the run. Number 2, create a quarterback conjury. Wow, a quarterback conjury. See, what happens now, Corey, we have two teams that love to run the ball, two teams that love to pound it out, ground and pound. So what you have to do when you have two teams that love to run, you got to force them to run. Force them to pass. I'm sorry, you don't want to force them to run. You got to force them to put it in the air. So create a quarterback conjury. Make your quarterback win the game in the air. Last 3, do it with discipline. Do it with discipline. Lippen started out strong, but they finished really slowly against First Baptist last week. They're going to need more discipline tonight if they want to take out Augusta Christian. And the same thing with Augusta Christian. Do it with discipline. You have to be disciplined in these early season games right here. You can't commit the little mental errors, the little mental mistakes that throw you off and cause you to lose the game, Corey.
That's it, and both teams are going to have to look to the discipline factor tonight for sure. We are starting to get to that point in the season to where the temperatures start cooling down a little bit. We're still not out of the woods yet, so we're not quite to the pickle juice scenario as we were the first couple weeks of the season for those that were able to join us in our first trio of broadcasts. But again, we're moving to that point in the year to where things will get cooler. Sun's already down. How about now, at a glance, presented by the CSRA All-Star Bowl. Augusta Christian 2-1 so far this season. Lippen 1-2 coming into tonight, and teams had the game moved last year due to weather. So weather was a factor. We've already had Mother Nature be a factor so far this season, so we can relate to that.
Yes, we started off our first week of the year. We started off with a rain delay over in Hephzibah. Got to make sure I say that name right. Hephzibah. We had a rain delay and actually ended up canceling the game, and boom. So now, but weather seems to be perfect tonight. It seems, I don't want to jinx it.
No.
I don't want to jinx it.
Me neither.
But it seems to be a great night for football tonight.
You are our meteorologist at Hephzibah. He called it about 5 minutes or so before the showers and the thunderstorms moved in, and then boom, we had a big sheet of rain. We'll take our first pause here on the AugBball Game of the Week pregame show, getting set for week number 5. Friday Night Lights. Oh yeah, the lights are on as soon as we get going with kickoff. We'll step aside, come back. It's the AugBball Game of the Week powered by SUVtv. welcome back. It'll be Augusta Christian to receive the football. The Lions playing host to the Ben Lippen Falcons. Ben Lippen from Columbia, South Carolina, the capital city, up in the state just north of the Peachtree State. Here we are in Georgia tonight. The AUG B-Ball Game of the Week, powered by SUVtv. Corey Hodges, Sylvester Williams back here with you, getting set for kickoff on a very crowded field towards the other side of the end zone, not to your right, at least looking as you are now on the screen on our variety of streaming options. You can stream it on your iPad, your iPhone. Maybe you're an Android user. You can stream it on your Android phone, your tablet, online, of course, on YouTube. Expecting a great turnout tonight, and our loyal viewers, as always, in for another treat under the lights again with the sunset tonight at about 7:30, just a couple ticks past 7:30. That's where we are now. So the sun that was blazing when we first walked in here to the booth, I know it was really bright when I walked in, was wondering if maybe we would have to deal with that. Fortunately, the sun, which has dipped below this lush horizon of trees, typical of a Georgia setting, especially on a Friday night for football, those trees have held the sun back, so as a result, we can see clearly, and we are getting ready to see the Lions and the Ben Lippen Falcons, and appropriately, a little bit of Hans Zimmer and company from the Lion King soundtrack here to start.
I'll tell you, I'm loving the soundtrack over here at Augusta Christian. Yeah, they just had what was my song with the drum solo? Oh man!
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, In the Air Tonight.
In the Air Tonight, yeah. Phil Collins, man. You know, hey man, I'm loving the soundtrack, man.
It was great. All we need now is a little Beyonce from the soundtrack, and everybody would probably be bouncing. But how about that remix as well? Everyone having a lot of fun here at the home of the Lions. Here they come.
Yeah, you see them coming down the hill over there. You know, this is one thing I love about high school football. Before the game started, the announcer said, everybody come on over and form the spirit line. So you had a bunch of the students come out of the student section. Some of the parents come out of the section to form the spirit line for the young players coming onto the field, man. Hey, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. I've seen some entrances for high school football, maybe not as much, obviously, as you have, but I don't know. At Columbia High School, did you ever have to go down a slope like that to get out into the field?
Not down the hill, kind of reminiscent of Clemson a little bit, coming down the hill, touching the rock, coming down. You know, it's a big rock up there at the top of that hill. I don't know, maybe they did rub the rock. I don't know. We have to ask somebody about that.
Is it Pride Rock?
Maybe. We're the Lions.
Right. Where's Simba at? Well, we'll parlay our Lion King puns into something even more extraordinary as we go, I'm sure. But it'll first be Augusta Christian to receive the football. For Ben Lippen, they'll send it away from Terry King, as King will get set to get it to Augusta Christian. First touch of the night will be for the home team Lions.
Should be an exciting one, man. I love it. It's football time.
Nothing like it. Happy to have everyone aboard. Just one tick past the bottom of the hour. Pretty much right on schedule. Nice crowd here tonight as well, and we will probably go ahead and dive into the close confines, the unusual situation here at Augusta Christian. This is a one-of-a-kind stadium. It gives you almost a short track Friday night, Saturday night kind of feel for those racing around the southeast, and when you apply it to football, a little bit of a Bowman Gray style atmosphere for the Winston-Salem Rams, albeit a little bit even closer together. But King will get set to give it away for Ben Lippen to Augusta Christian. Off we go from Augusta, Georgia on this Friday night. Football is dropped, it's recovered, picked up. Now a move to the 30 and down. The football came out again at about the 40-yard line.
On the run back for the Lions is a
Fumble.
Yeah, I think that's Ben Lippen's ball. I love the scrum down there on the middle of the pile, man.
Yeah, so the return for Augusta Christian looked like Arthur. I saw a number 8 down there for the Lions. And so a fumble on the first touch for Augusta Christian, as the Lions will give it to the Falcons.
Yeah, that was one of those plays that was kind of doomed from the start. Van Diver was the receiver on the play, and you notice he bobbled it as soon as he caught it, and then he never really, I think, fully got possession of it. Look at the bobble right there, and as he goes to the line, somebody just put a helmet on the ball. You can't carry that thing like a loaf of bread. Number 12 is the one who poked it out there, Joshua Plush, sophomore.
And Diver Jr., good eyes there, Sly. That's where the fumble occurred. It's a little toss, a little shovel pass for Ben Lippen on the first, but Augusta Christian is all over that play. And down on the play for Ben Lippen was number 22, Jacob Thigpen.
Jacob Thigpen came in there. He was the first one to lay the lick right there. The big man scoped through the line, grabbed the. You know, one thing about making a play in football, you don't always have to make the tackle. You have to make the play. And what he did, he got there and he got his hand. He slowed down that jet sweep enough for the rest of his teammates to come in there and clean up the mess. Good job by that young man.
2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line for Ben Lippen. Stepping back with time. And now a run for the quarterback for Ben Lippen. That's Will Taylor.
Now, you got to be careful about that guy, Taylor. Taylor, you know, it was a design pass play, but the guy leads the team in rushing. He's not afraid to tuck it and go. He's a big kid, too.
Yeah, Taylor, the junior quarterback.
Some things about Taylor, even though he's a baseball commit, he's still projected as a mid-major quarterback for a lot of places.
That's something, huh? Taylor will go ahead and give the football off. Here's the run for Thigpen. Jeremiah Uli that time. So Uli with the carry. Thigpen with the tackle.
You know, just a nice run up the middle, trying to open things up. Now, that's a big line over there for Augusta Christian. They're not going to give up much on the ground because you see how big and thick they are up front. Mm-hmm. I was looking at them before the game, and they have that look, what I like to say. They look good getting off the bus. They look real good getting off the bus, man. They're a big team.
Yeah, you always wonder about the pregame walk, how the team looks coming off of the orange bus, and Ben Lippen certainly appeared to be a pretty stern test tonight before the 4th down. Again, this is an early game 4th down try, so you wonder there if Ben Lippen was trying to go for maybe a little trickery, get someone to jump. They weren't quite out there long enough for that to happen, but maybe just a timeout here to talk things over.
And, you know, just some early game adjustments by the coach. You know, what's going on, 4th down. This is a huge play. This is a huge play because now you're setting the tone for the rest of the game right here. You know, this is one of the offensive coordinator's nightmares right here. Because it's 4th and about a long 5, maybe 6, depends on how you look at it. That's a hard play call for the offensive coordinator to make. But just as hard as it is for the offensive coordinator, it's a hard play call for the defensive coordinator to make too. Let's see who earns their money tonight.
Ben Lippen, in one way I like to see this. I've always wondered, at least over the last couple of seasons, what would happen if a team tried something different and just went for it on every 4th down in a football game. And they made that their motto throughout the season. I always wonder how that would affect the offense. Here's a run for Taylor. He'll keep it. Taylor to the 30-yard line. He'll turn the corner close to the 25 and change. Needed 10 yards for the 1st down pickup.
Now here's something. It'll never go down in the stat book, but keep a look at the running back, number 22. Look at him get his shoulder right there and throw a block. Not a hard block. Comes back, throws another block. That's the 1st down block. Right there. If he doesn't get that block, they don't get the 1st down. That'll never go in the stat book, but that's a great job by your running back.
Yeah, good block that time on number 9 for Augusta Christian, Marion Ocasio. Here goes Taylor, has time, pressure coming. A flag comes in. Taylor will get the football away.
Taylor's pass
and that one is caught by Evan Werner. Now we'll address the penalty.
Now, that's one of those blatant holes right there. Anytime you get 2 referees spot the hole and both of them throw the flag in the same place, that's a pretty obvious hole whenever that happens.
Holding against Ben Lippen.
So holding call on the Falcons that time. That's something that Augusta Christian will take as Ben Lippen steps back a little bit.
1st in a country mile.
Yeah, that's it. About 9:23 to go opening quarter. Here's Taylor. Here comes the pressure on Taylor. He's got to get rid of the football. He escapes 2 would-be tackles. to the 30. Will Taylor is still on his feet. He's finally brought down. A hard tackle at the end of that play. Running in there for Augusta Christian was number 89. That's Garrison Bates.
You know, I was kind of wondering, you know, how does a quarterback average 129 yards of rushing? Now I got an idea of how this young man does it. He's a crafty guy.
He is. We saw Taylor that time scrambling. You see the hit there at the very end that finally stopped the run for Taylor. That was actually Zach Blackwell who came in there to stop Taylor for Augusta Christian.
Zach, leading tackler on this team and the leading rusher.
Showed why right there. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Taylor will keep. This ball is caught by Werner. And Werner is summarily tackled down.
That's a well-designed play right there, but an even better job of Van Diver staying with his receiver on the outside, not falling for the dive on the inside and making the big tackle. Anytime you have a quick out pass like that, the wide receiver has to do 2 things. He has to catch the ball and make one man miss. If he can't make that first man miss, it's going to be a tackle for a loss every time. Good job by the cornerback, Van Diver, over there.
Van Diver making up for the fumble as he returned the football to start for Augusta Christian. Here's Taylor, will step up in the pocket. Taylor with some room. Again, that leading runner, Will Taylor, is off to the races, if you will, searching for the end zone, but came up, and no, he got in.
Oh, wow.
Into the end zone for the touchdown. Will Taylor, it looked like he may come up a yard or 2 short, but he's there for the score.
Let's look at that replay. Let's see. Now, that's a great job of Taylor. Once he realized this is the danger of playing man-to-man defense. Nobody's covering the quarterback on the inside. And so what's going to happen? He stretched out there. He stretched out. He got it. He got it. He got in there.
Boy, he was in pursuit. That was Garrison Bates coming after Taylor that time. He was able to score. And the extra point is no good.
That was short. How often do you see an extra point that's short?
Not very often. That's high school football. Sometimes that'll happen. Our last broadcast, when we were in Grovetown, Georgia, the Grovetown team was unable to get an extra point that could have tied the game and brought it into overtime. There's a look at Tyler Van Hook, the Augusta Christian head coach.
You know, Corey, one thing, when you're playing a scrambling quarterback like that, when you're playing a quarterback who's not afraid to tuck it and run, you got to leave a spy in the middle. That's where that middle linebacker comes into play. But when you're aggressive defense and you send people to blitz, if everybody blitzes from the outside and the quarterback's smart enough to step up into the pocket and run straight up the middle, you're going to get a 34-yard touchdown run.
Will Taylor executing at that time for Augusta Christian. And again, you look at Taylor on the ground, been pretty spectacular so far this season for Ben Lippen. We'll look at Taylor's numbers in a couple moments. We'll also dive into Augusta Christian and their numbers on the season as the Lions will look to touch it for the 2nd time in the football game, but keep possession of the football this time after the fumble on the opening kickoff return. Sent away by Kang. Took a bad bounce. It is recovered. Searching for the 25, maybe the 30-yard line, still on his feet, and finally brought down on the return that time, Van Diver. A better effort that time for Terrence Van Diver Jr.
I'm going to date myself some. It was a comic book. It was a comic strip called Gil Thorpe. I don't know if anybody remembers a comic strip. It was a comic strip in the sports pages, and I vividly remember one of the themes of the comic strip. There was a kickoff returner that they had who fumbled every kickoff. He would bobble the ball, but he managed to pick it up, and he'd always return it for a touchdown. That's what Van Diver's looking like.
Yeah, the comic book coming to life, if you will. How about that? In living color in here on Friday night. It's an air ball to start, and that one incomplete. Target for Augusta Christian was number 36, J.C. Hansen.
2nd down.
Great job of defense over there by the sophomore Joshua Plush. Look at him. He doesn't fall for that fake. He doesn't fall. He stays step by step, step for step, and he manages to put the hand up at the last minute. Great job of coverage over there by Plush.
Sam Robertson at quarterback for Augusta Christian after the incomplete pass. Here's 2nd down. Handoff carry And that's Blackwell, Zach Blackwell, the running back. This is the thunder and lightning combination that head coach Tyler Van Hook was speaking with us about on Wednesday night, along with Jacob Walker. Blackwell and Walker, the two big ones to watch tonight on the ground for the Lions.
And you know what? I think I just spoke up the young man, Jonathan Plush. I think the penalty may be on him. I'm not quite sure. Let's see what the referees do. Oh, never mind. Wasn't on him. Yep, it was on him. What he did, he was going in man-to-man press coverage. And what happened when he stepped up for man-to-man press coverage, he stepped up too far. He stepped up into the neutral zone, and so they got a neutral zone infraction right there. You talk him up,
hey.
Then he comes back, he lets you down.
Sometimes it happens over the course of a football game. Joshua Plush, the sophomore. Second down here for Augusta Christian. Here's a big run out to about midfield that time. The carry for number 3, Zach Blackwell.
Oh, yeah, I like that run by Blackwell. You see how Blackwell gets there and lowers his shoulders. And what I love when a running back delivers the boom. A running back, you don't have to be a tackling dummy. You can be somebody who comes out there and brings the power with you. Look at him. Look at him lower that shoulder.
Zach Blackwell, that's one part of the thunder and lightning duo for Augusta Christian. They have a player down for the Lions, and for Augusta Christian, that's Braden Benton, who is now being helped up.
Against Augusta Christian.
And also a yellow penalty flag against the Lions. So insult to injury, if you will, here. But fortunately for the moment, Benton is up and walking.
It's always good when a young man can walk off on his own power.
Sure is.
You know, you like to see that. Make sure he can make it off the field on his own. And he looks like a tough guy. He'll be back.
So fortunately, able to walk off is Benton. Head coach Tyler Van Hook for Augusta Christian heading back to the huddle on the sidelines. And we'll go once again. Second down. Ball will be snapped at the 30-yard line. Sam Robertson with a couple of calls before the snap.
Pressure's coming.
Loaded up. Watch that for Ben Lippen tonight defensively. Handoff, carry, able to get out of a couple tackles before finally being brought down. And that was Blackwell again.
That's great individual effort right there by Blackwell, because he actually ran that into the blitz. The linebacker was blitzing in that hole, and he managed to break free and gain a couple of extra yards on top. That's just a great individual effort right there by Blackwell.
Blackwell coming into the night with 31 rushing attempts and 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can add that again with Jacob Walker for over 300 yards combined on the season coming in. Here goes Robertson. That ball is incomplete. Target for Augusta Christian was Van Diver.
Incomplete. Fourth down.
Trying to get it to Vandiver. Now you got that punting situation right here. 4th and about 4. Play the field position game. Go ahead and kick it away. Ooh, and it hit him in the worst place possible.
Yeah, right in the hands.
Right in the hands.
I'm picking up on it now.
Well, in confirmation for the Lions.
I got baited. First time I said breadbasket. I said, no, okay, hands. Okay.
Hit him in the hands.
Hands. Just takes a little bit.
There you go.
Eventually you get the hang of it. Boot sent away by Blackwell. Zach Blackwell to be fielded by Werner. Werner looking to the 40. He's past the 40, to the 45, to the 50-yard line. And finally, Werner is tripped up. Evan Werner.
By number 8, Hugh Arthur.
Arthur with the tackle for Augusta Christian. Here's a look at it again.
Evan Werner, he's the lead return man on the team. He actually took a kickoff back earlier in the year for 77 yards. That was his long on the kickoff return. So Warner's the dangerous guy back there on the returns.
So now Ben Lippen with the football back, able to play pretty good defense that time on Augusta Christian. It's 6-0 Falcons over the Lions. And some of the keys tonight that head coach James Reynolds was speaking with us about on Wednesday, you have to play more disciplined, and you mentioned this in the open slide, one of the keys to the game, of course, presented by Lineage of Champions, but Ben Lippen was up big against First Baptist, but wound up falling in that football game. That one is complete, caught by Jack Austin.
That's a strong arm pass right there by Taylor. I love the way he just took that quick 3-step drop, and look how he zips that thing in there. You know, nice pickup of 7 yards. That's exactly what that play was designed to do. The wide receiver ran 7 yards, stopped on a dime. As soon as he turned around, quarterback had it there.
So 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff, carry. A nice little spin move there for Jeremiah Eula, but then Eula trapped in the backfield. For Augusta Christian that time, that was Noah Smith. Number 56, Smith, coming in for the tackle.
See, I want you to look at this. That play was designed to go in what we call the 5-hole, right off the tackle in between the tight end. He had to push it a little bit out, and once he pushed it out, he was just losing, and it was nothing you could do from there. Sometimes you gotta just tuck, you gotta tuck that shoulder and go where that play was designed. You can't push everything to the outside.
If you're Jeremiah Eula, maybe you think back to Leonard Fournette last night for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Was bottled up the entire game and then had a big 60-plus yard rush right towards the end. If you had him on your fantasy team, you got some nice points. Here's the toss from Taylor. Incomplete. Target was Carter Moorer.
And now, Corey, I want you to look at the adjustments that Augusta Christian made. Look at this linebacker. He's going to stay. Your middle linebacker, he's keying the quarterback. 51, he's keying the quarterback. He's not going out. He's not dropping out. That way, Taylor tried to step up in the pocket and couldn't run because your linebacker was there. Good job of adjustments by the coaching staff.
And on 4th down, it'll be a boot sent away by Taylor. Ball will bound to about the 5-yard line. It's covered up there for Ben Lippen, as surrounding at that time is Wade Davis. So Augusta Christian will get the football back.
4-yard line where it will be 1st and 10 Lions.
Augusta Christian 3-7 last season in 3A play here in the SCISA, and a spread 3-5-3 team on offense. Again, Robertson at quarterback, someone to watch for sure. We've already seen him. Casio along with Jacob Walker, the big three. Lions returning a lot of experience at the skill positions on offense. 3-year starter at quarterback. The defense, a struggle last year for Augusta Christian. Of course, it's a tough region. Expecting the numbers to improve here in 2019.
Yeah, that region is a tough region. Hammond.
Here's a carry to start, just trying to get out of the shadow of the end zone. And that's Walker with the carry. State title slide for Augusta Christian, 2005, 2013. So it's a team that has had success, and pretty recently.
You know, one of the interesting things you said, they play in the SCISA. They play in the South Carolina Independent School Association. Even though Augusta is a Georgia team, they actually play in the South Carolina Independent Association. Now that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, crossing the state line there in terms of region play and where they reside. A little interesting for sure. It's 2nd down. Here is another handoff. Big run up the middle, and he is gone. A run for Zach Blackwell. Blackwell past midfield to the 30, to the 20. Blackwell is finally tackled down by Prescott Jefferson, and Jefferson saved the score.
I'm telling you, man. Jefferson came out of there like a shot out of a cannon. Because I'm pretty sure, I thought the only thing that was going to stop Blackwell was going to be the Augusta Canal. That was going to be the only thing that was going to slow this kid down. But Prescott, look at Prescott comes and run. He's not even in your screen. Look at him. He comes and runs them down.
Yeah,
you got track coaches out there smiling somewhere.
Gosh. And Joshua Plush, one of your guys there as well, was on the corner. But yeah, closest to it indeed was Jefferson, who came in to make the touchdown saving tackle. What a burst. And there you go again. We were speaking about those run numbers. Here it is one more time for the replay, and the big burst for Zach Blackwell. And Blackwell really looked good as gone that time.
I'm telling you, man.
Wow.
You know, but that's 90 yards. I mean, it's 90 yards with full pads on there. You know, those pads start to get heavy right around that 30-yard line. It starts to catch up to you.
Yeah, like hitting about the 15 or so minute mark on the treadmill. All of a sudden, all right, I don't know if I can make it another 15 minutes on here. I'm going to try. But Zach Blackwell coming in, 215 yards on the season. He's over 300 now after that big push. Almost got home. Again, it's a run-first team. That's what head coach Tyler Van Hook was saying to us on Wednesday. He wants those running backs to pound it. Zach Blackwell, Jacob Walker. Blackwell almost pounding it home that time. It'll again be Blackwell in the backfield. And it'll be a quarterback keeper and then pushed out by Robertson, and Robertson was keeping it that time.
You know, great job of the quarterback and just following his blockers. One thing about Augusta Christian, the Lions have a huge offensive line. For 1A private school ball, these guys have a huge offensive line, man. And that's what it's a good thing you're a quarterback. You can just get behind those big old horses and just ride your way on in.
That was almost a ride along there for Robertson to the house. It's Robertson again with Blackwell in the backfield. But first, a pause and a timeout called here by Augusta Christian, or rather Ben Lippen with the timeout. So the Falcons will take time, which gives us a chance to look at some of the power rankings. Again, we'll touch on this a little bit later on as well, but our featured matchup, at least tentatively for next Friday, is Thompson and Grovetown. Again, here on the AugBball Game of the Week, powered by SUVtv. Corey Hodges, Sylvester Williams here with you from Augusta Christian High School on this Friday night. But if you look at the power rankings sent out today, courtesy of the Augusta Chronicle, Barnwell at the top, then Washington County. There's Hepzibah, 2-0, and staying in the number 3 slot in the rankings. In fact, the top 3 all staying the same from last week. Aquinas, Strom-Thurmond, Lakeside, Burke County, and then Thompson. Again, this is the scheduled, or at least for the moment, tentative matchup for our next Friday night, but Thompson is into the top 10 in the power rankings, and then Screverin County and Silver Bluff, so we could be in for a good one next Friday as it's 2nd and goal here for Augusta Christian. It'll be a keep for Robertson again, and he's wrangled down.
I wonder if that was a design keep or did he miss the handoff on that one? Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I think he may have managed to make it back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's see if he just missed the handoff.
Tackle by number 50, Jay Reese.
Oh, I don't know.
That was either a good fake or a misconnection. That's where the beauty of replay comes in. I'm not sure what everyone else does broadcasting high school football. I know that we are lucky in so many ways just because of that right there, the ability to have a second look. Here is Blackwell, Zach Blackwell into the end zone for the touchdown.
You know what? Blackwell is going to get his name in the paper for that touchdown. But he needs to give credit to those big guys up front. I think he may have got an arm on him. He may have got one fingertip on him. Look at that offensive line just clear out some room. You got your card coming around with the kick out block. Boom, he kicks it out wide open. Touchdown run for Blackwell.
Well, Blackwell almost got there on his own momentum earlier on the 90-plus yard rush. He was held up. A couple plays later, able to get into the end zone officially. So the extra point is up and good. Sent through by Lawton Hill. Hill with the extra points. That puts Augusta Christian on top, 7-6 over Ben Lippen with 91 seconds left here in the opening quarter.
All right, we got ourselves a ball game here.
Okay. Well, Blackwell just felt like he was going to get in sooner rather than later. His 3rd touchdown here on the 2019 season. Again, Jacob Walker, someone to watch as well. You can't forget about Sam Robertson at quarterback, 100 yards even on the season in terms of rushing, although he's already added a couple tonight in terms of yards. And Robertson will be the next one to look for his 3rd touchdown of the season. But Blackwell, again, had to have help with the big bodies, but good touchdown.
Oh, man, Corey, this is what I like, man. First quarter, 7-6. A lot of action going on. You know, you had 2 defensive stops, 2 offensive scores, had a turnover. But hey, this is exciting ball right here.
Yeah.
This is just the first quarter.
Come on. Yeah, I think we're in for some good stuff the rest of the way, especially with the 13 combined points that we have already. As Ben Lippen will look for the football back. Sent away by Hatcher. Fielded by Evan Warner. Warner to the 35-yard line. A flag came in late.
Yeah, that's going to be I think it'll be a clip or a legal block. It may be a chop block. I'm not quite sure, but I know he hit him in the back. We just missed it off the camera. You couldn't really quite see it. But I think that may be one of the 15-yard variety.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to wave it off. They're going to wave it off. I think he said he got him on the side.
Well, take the penalty flag away, and again, addressing the player that's down on the field. Augusta Christian, the rest of the team will take a knee momentarily. The player getting some attention down at about the 25-yard line. For Augusta Christian, we'll await the number and the look here in a moment.
Flag on the play.
So a momentary pause here with just about under a minute to go here, opening quarter, or rather a minute 24 to go. And that's Mariano Ocasio, good eye slice. So Ocasio down the field, he comes off limping and with some help.
Good to see the young man be able to get up and get on off the field. You know, he'll get the medical staff to take a look at him, and you know, hopefully the young man, he'll be back.
Hopefully so. Ocasio, 24 yards on the season, a long catch of 16 yards in terms of his receiving work. First down from the 35-yard line. First is a carry for Ben Lippen. Augusta Christian pretty well on at that time.
This defense is all over. Is all over Ula. Look at Bates playing the defensive end, keeping that outside arm free. If you're a defensive end, you want to keep your outside arm free so you can play contain. You want to play contain and stretch that play out as far as you can stretch it out, as long as he doesn't cut up. Good job by Bates right there of playing defensive end.
So after the Eula carry, it was well defended by Augusta Christian. It's second down. And we'll keep, and that is an open ball that is dropped by Davis Holt on the pass from Will Taylor.
I'm telling you, that is not how you win and influence friends right there. You got to come up with that one. That's a perfect inside slant route. Great pass by Taylor. It was a little bit low, but you got to catch that one. Look at Taylor, stick his net, stay in there, throws it. Ooh, oh, hit him in the worst place possible.
Yep, again, the dreaded hands.
Hit him in the hands.
Maybe a little stick 'em possibly next time down would help to reel in that football, but Taylor almost, or rather Davis Holt that time, almost had it. It's third down. In motion, Eula. Here's Taylor. Pressure is on the way. Taylor gets out of it. And football caught right on the sideline. Davis Holt. Holt got it. First down.
That's a great job of Holt to balance it on that sideline. Look how what happens. He was running a deep route. He saw his quarterback scramble, so he broke off his route and came back to that ball. He came back. You know, that's what you work on all summer long, the scramble drill, if you're a quarterback, and they ran that one to perfection.
With barely any room left, Davis Holt with the catch, first down. Taylor, Eula in the backfield. Flag right as the snap was off.
See, here's the thing. When you send that running back in motion like that, when he goes in motion, he has to set his feet. He has to get set if he's doing that upward motion. See, he's coming up, and now when he's going up, they snapped it before he was set. Well, yeah, maybe he was close to being set. It was close. But we are watching stuff in slow motion.
Good point.
We're watching it in slow motion. They're watching it in live time. So, that, you know, I thought he was still moving. That's why the ref called the flag.
Yeah, again, that's where replay really changes a whole lot. And again, if you are without it, sometimes it can be tough to gauge plays. That one is caught Jack Austin.
Number 14, Jack Austin.
Now here's the difficulty when you're playing a scrambling quarterback. When you're playing a quarterback who can tuck it and run, you get away from your man-to-man defense because your defenders are turning their back to the quarterback. So now they're playing a zone. But if you have a good quarterback's going to pick apart that zone. He's finding the holes in the zone, and that's what Taylor's doing right there. He's not going deep. He's not going over the top. He's just finding the holes in the zone and exploiting them.
Yeah, a little momentum for Ben Lippen as we close here at the end of the first quarter. It's 7-6, Augusta Christian on top of the Ben Lippen Falcons. The AUG B-Ball Game of the Week, powered by SUVtv. We'll be back in a moment. Quarter number 2.
Every time we open our doors, we change just a little bit. Every blade of grass, every rose petal, every pen location. But the one thing that doesn't change is our commitment to an exceptional golfing experience. Being prepared to give it our all 364 days a year is not just a credo. It's our soul.
Back here, quarter number 2 from Augusta, Georgia. Here's a bobbled ball that is caught by Evan Warner. Warner had to go a little baked potato on it that time, but reeled it in. We'll look back here in a moment at our first quarter stats.
You know, good job of running that inside kind of quick slant right there. You know, a skinny post, some people call it, but he kind of bobbled it. I thought he wasn't going to hold on to it, but good job of concentration of keeping it and picking up the first down.
Well, in the first quarter, Ben Lippen with 3 first downs to Augusta Christian's 2. More stats here in a moment as it's first down here for Ben Lippen. Taylor, Eula in the backfield. Again, he goes in motion. Pressure coming on Taylor. Steps up, pocket, a flag comes in. Taylor still on his way. Possible free play opportunity. He's rolling down the sideline. And finally the whistle.
Yeah, that's going to come back right there. He threw it right in that holding area. Somebody grabbed a hold of a jersey down there on the Ben Lippen offensive line.
You could even see Taylor's reaction at the end of that, kind of putting his head up, and I think Taylor knew that it was on the way back. A couple more stats from the opening quarter. Rushing yards, 46 for Ben Lippen, 107 for Augusta Christian. Passing yards, 20-1 in favor of Ben Lippen. It's a holding call against Ben Lippen that time.
10-yard penalty.
Penalty yards, 3 for 24 yards against Ben Lippen, 1 for 10 yards for Augusta Christian. Possession time, 7:24 Ben Lippen, 4:36 Augusta Christian. A look back at our first quarter stats. Thanks, Sly, for that. And keeping us updated as we go. And also
a chunk of that rush, that 107 came off of that big run from Blackwell.
That's right. Here's Taylor, and that ball is caught just barely, but hauled in. Davis Holt. Holt is still on his feet. Holt down at about the 10-yard line.
Hey, I know Taylor's signed to play baseball at Clemson, but the way he's zipping that ball around, we might want to reevaluate this quarterback thing next year. He might go somewhere and play quarterback. He's being recruited by South Carolina and Clemson both to play a little bit of receiver also.
No way.
I think at the end of this year they might try to change that thing over. Let you play quarterback.
Gosh, that is certainly a story, no doubt. When you're talking about 2 of the biggest schools, not only in the country, but especially here in the Southeast. Here's a carry for Taylor. Again, mentioning his speed that he'll be utilizing here possibly on the baseball field. That's Taylor keeping it that time.
By number 15, Spencer Wiley.
Going back to the opening quarter as we have another look at it here from Taylor. Finally brought down there at the end.
I'm telling you, man, Taylor does a lot, man. Taylor runs, Taylor pass. I don't know. He might have drove the bus here tonight. Yeah. Taylor does a lot for this team.
Spencer Wiley with the tackle there to keep Taylor out. Here is Eula with the carry, Jeremiah Eula, and Eula is stopped before he can get going. Tackle that time made by Garrison Bates.
Number 36, JC Henson.
Do it all for you, Will Taylor.
The Lion defense, I like the way they're converging on Eula. They're not letting Eula get out the gate tonight. They're converging, nice gang tackling, and most importantly, they're laying some pads on Eula too.
Sure.
They're letting them know. They're letting them know we're here.
Eula on the season in terms of rushing, 254 yards, averages a little over 6.5 yards per carry. It's third down. Third and goal here for Ben Lippen. Football is caught, trying to redirect. Big scrum at the end. Football is out.
That could be deadly.
Is that an Augusta Christian recovery?
Who did they give? Oh, I think they gave it to Ben Lippen. Ben Lippen jumped on top of that.
Have a look at the replay now.
Result of the play is a first down, Ben Lippen.
Look how he throws that ball. Look at the zip he puts on that ball. Bam! And that's in slow motion and it's moving fast.
Right, it's blazing. Yeah, the target was Werner that time. Enough for the first down, so now you're looking at first inside the 5 here, first and goal. One in motion. That's Owens, Will Owens. Taylor, handoff, Jeremiah Eula. Eula trying to cut back and into the end zone for the touchdown. A score for Jeremiah Eula with over 250 yards on the season, adds a couple more, and 6 points for the Falcons.
You know, Eula got the touchdown, but what we didn't see on that play, Taylor changed that play. Taylor changed it. That play, I don't know where that play was going, but Taylor went back to Eula, had the conversation, checked out of the original play, and they called the audible, and he sent his man in motion over the block for him. Taylor's a pretty good quarterback. Taylor's a pretty good quarterback.
It's fairly impressive what we're seeing so far for Will Taylor, for Ben Lippen. That'll put the Falcons up here for the moment, 12-7 with the extra point pending. And again, with 9:09 left here before halftime. Corey Hodges, Sylvester Williams here with you. AUG B-Ball Game of the Week powered by SUVtv. If you look at Ben Lippen, a couple more thoughts from head coach James Reynolds on Wednesday. He was speaking about quarterback Will Taylor and said, really to back up some of your thoughts tonight so far, Sly, on Taylor, head coach James Reynolds calling Taylor a force to be reckoned with, and that's no doubt. Passing, rushing, he can do it all.
I'll tell you, man, he has been impressive these first 2 quarters, or this first quarter and a half. He's been really impressive. And, you know, one thing I like about him, even though he tucks the ball and runs a lot, when he throws it, he puts some zip on the ball, man.
Yeah.
And truth be told, man, he's a couple of drop passes away from being almost perfect tonight, you know?
It's up to some of the receivers. We saw a drop from Holt a little bit earlier, one that would typically be a caught football, but you could be seeing extreme passing numbers here already, or at least medium warm, getting warmer passing numbers for Will Taylor. A couple of those footballs had been caught. So after the touchdown, Ben Lippen will go ahead and go for 2. And an open receiver into the end zone for 2 points, Will Owens. So Owens tacks on 2 more to, again, get those extra 2 points to make it an even. Looks better on the eyes, 14-7. Ben Lippen advantage over Augusta Christian with 9:09 to go here, second quarter. So you get the score from Eula, you get the 2 points for Will Owens, and the Falcons lead 14-7.
A little bit of captain on captain rewards right there, you know, Taylor to Owens for the 2-point conversion.
Will Taylor, speaking about his rushing numbers, had 240 yards on the ground against First Baptist. Again, that game has been mentioned a couple times already, where Ben Lippen was up 21-6 in the first quarter. Head coach James Reynolds for Ben Lippen saying that Ben Lippen played great for 2.5 quarters against First Baptist, but penalties and miscommunication on the field cost the Falcons the rest of the way. And again, that goes back to one of the very top keys for Reynolds and Lippen tonight. Play more discipline. So far seems to be working out well for a team at a school that is pretty much completely new, as Reynolds was saying to us on Wednesday night there again in the capital city of Columbia, South Carolina.
Yep, Ben Lippen way out down Monticello Road, man. Ben Lippen Christian School.
Yeah, sculpting a pretty good score so far here, 14-7. And the return on the way for Augusta Christian, and that's at about the 40-yard line. A late flag coming in. That was Kevin Walker on the return.
You know, the referees are definitely getting their workout tonight with these flags, man. A lot of flags are flying out here tonight.
Yeah, one coming in there at about the 43-yard line. It's picked up now. There's the replay towards the end of that play that
against the Lions
resulted in the penalty against Augusta Christian. So we'll get set to go for the next touch here for the Lions after the penalty. And the ball will be placed at the 30-yard line. That's where this drive will start for the Lions. Augusta Christian got a 21-0 victory in week 1 against Augusta Prep. There's a handoff.
Here's
Vandiver with the carry that time. But a 21-0 win to start the season as you have another look at Vandiver's run. And then Augusta Christian falling to Lawrence Manning in week 2 back on August 30th, 28-16. Augusta Christian bouncing back with a 5-point win against Cardinal Newman last time out to lead us into this Friday night's game against Ben Lippen. Second down. Vandiver again with the carry. Out to the 35-yard line.
Up to the 34, brought down by.
And, you know, hard-nosed running by Vandiver, going straight up the middle there. But good job of closing out. Seeing how the linebackers shift over and trying to fill up that gap on the inside.
Third down. You know, Ben Lippen, after the score, wants to force a quick 3-and-out for Augusta Christian. The Lions want to try to keep the drive going. A little jump.
There's that discipline we talked about a little bit earlier, you know, discipline. You see how well disciplined the offensive line of Augusta Christian. None of them moved. You saw the hard count, trying to draw them offside. Well disciplined by Augusta Christian. My old coach, Coach Charlie Macaluso from Columbia High School, he says the one person you can never forgive is the nose guard if he jumps off sides. The ball is literally right in front of his face.
Yeah, that's the one person on the field you would definitely think would probably be the least immune from any type of controversy, if you will, in terms of an early motion, as the carry that well was Blackwell, and Blackwell getting to about the 43-yard line.
Who was that? Hayden Carmouth. Hayden Carmouth makes the tackle. You know, grab on to something. Hold on to something, young man. It doesn't matter. Just hold on.
On him that time was Owens with the tackle.
Yep, Owens with the tackle. I'm sorry, had the rosters wrong.
No worries. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Sometimes you look over and you realize you've called a number for the other team, and then you have to hop back and say, uh-oh, here's a run for Robertson, and Sam Robertson is to the 40 and close to the 35-yard line into Ben Lippen territory.
See, I like that. That's that old speed option to the weak side of the field. You know, no tight end over there. Defensive end kind of ran free. Speed option. Defensive end came inside, wide open for the quarterback. Big pickup.
Well, obviously a fresh set now for Augusta Christian. Another look at the move for Robertson. First and 10 from close to the 35-yard line. Stepping back, Robertson, ball in the air to the end zone. That one was almost hauled in for the interception, and a flag came in as that collision was taking place with the receiver for Augusta Christian. Yeah, Walker was the target.
Yeah, he got there too early. Look at the bumping going on as the ball is in the air. Now I want you to also look at the pressure on the bottom of the screen right here. Boom. Good job by the quarterback to stick it in there, knowing the pressure is coming and getting the ball off. But he got his hand out there. That's pass interference. You can't ride that receiver and have your hand on that receiver's hip. Referee's going to call that every time.
Joshua Plush was playing Kevin Walker that time. Plush got hit with the penalty. So time for Augusta Christian to march a little bit closer to the end zone.
You know, here's the thing about playing cornerback. When you make a mistake, you're usually out there by yourself, and everybody in the stadium sees you made the mistake. That's the hard part about playing cornerback. You're by yourself. That's why they used to call it Revis Island.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with Darrelle Revis with the New York Jets. Exactly right. It can be lonely in a good way or in a bad way. Here's a run for Blackwell. And Blackwell down to about the 15-yard line.
You know, I'm not sure what play that is Augusta Christian is running, but they are running. That's a huge play whenever Blackwell gets it and runs it right up that two gap or the three gap on the other side. It is usually wide open, and he's picking up big chunks of yardage because that offensive line is just blowing up the Ben Lippen defensive line.
Blackwell on the move, along with this Augusta Christian offense. Second down, and it'll be a keep for Sam Robertson, and Sam Robertson had a late leap, and then Lippen Lizards Sam Robertson into the end zone for the touchdown, and Augusta Christian gets 6 on the QB's back.
Look at the quarterback following the block, following his running back in that hole. Look at him, and I love how he gets behind his running back. See the big guard coming there and clear things out? Boom, big guard opening holes up. Follow Mr. Blackwell up the middle. Blackwell lays down a pancake block. We call that a pancake. You know what he did? He put him in the dead cockroach position. That's what he did to that defender.
With some extra syrup trying to be applied that time to slip up Robertson. Extra point is good. And we're all knotted at 14 apiece with 5:46 to go here before halftime. Sam Robertson, another look at it for the touchdown.
And look at this block by Blackwell up the middle. Look at Blackwell come here and boom. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, little DB.
Yeah.
You got to lay down. You got to lay down, little DB.
And Robertson with vault and then the leap into the end zone. All tied up. And check this out, 28 combined points. Seeing the offense start to rumble here with, again, under 6 minutes left before the break. And we're seeing Augusta Christian resilient. And they're right in this game. And now Ben Lippen will look to get a response score.
See, here's the thing. When you're Augusta Christian, Ben Lippen came and ran straight down the field and just ran straight at you. What did Augusta Christian do? They answered. That's what you expect out of your team. You want your team to answer the call. And when Ben Lippen delivered, Augusta Christian came right back and answered. It's a good ball game we got going on, folks.
Yeah, this is nice. You're seeing the response scoring, and we're deadlocked. Sam Hatcher will send it away. Ball will bound to the 30. It's picked up by Eula. And that's where Jeremiah Eula and the Ben Lippen Falcons will start their next drive.
I'm not sure what's going on down on this side of the field,
Yeah.
but fielding the ball on the kickoffs is tricky on this side of the field.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many problems on the opposite side, that's for sure. It's down here where the opening fumble was for Augusta Christian, and then Eula that time had to roll around, stop, drop, and roll that time close to the football. We'll see the Falcons again with this rushing attack. Of course, Augusta Christian can respond with a lot of running as well, but as Will Taylor and the offense comes back out for Ben Lippen, more on Taylor as we go, and already discussed his baseball opportunities collegiately. Looking pretty good, though, in football. Here's Taylor. A bullet that is brought in with one hand and then secured by Davis Holt. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, man, hey. This passing attack, you know, I talked about the run.
Yeah.
I was expecting a running attack out of Ben Lippen, but Taylor's throwing that ball. Taylor is throwing it. It's a bit high. Look at the big man go up and pull it down, man. That's a great catch. Great job of concentration by your receiver.
Are you kidding me? Look at this. Gosh. Davis Holt. You're going to see it now on the bullet from Taylor. Check it out. Here it comes. One hand to secure it. Second hand to make sure it was a definite catch. Here goes Will Taylor now on the run. Next play, Taylor out to the 45-yard line into Augusta Christian territory.
You know, one thing, I hate to keep beating on a dead horse when I'm talking about Will Taylor, but I love the poise that he showed. That looked like that was a what they call a RPO, run pass option. And notice what he did on that play. He tried to stay parallel and behind the line of scrimmage to keep that pass open. He didn't tuck it and just take off running. He tried to stay even with the line of scrimmage, and when he realized it wasn't there, then he tucked it.
Taylor seems to have all the tools. Second down, Will Taylor on the move out of the pocket. That speed will get you. If you're the quarterback of Ben Lippen and the defense for Augusta Christian, Taylor is finally down at about the 20-yard line. He can scoot.
Now, if we notice, now is when some coaching comes into play right here.
Yeah.
Right here, now it's time to make adjustments. You made the adjustment earlier by putting a spy in the middle to stop Taylor from sneaking up through the middle on those scrambles. Now, if you notice these last couple of drives, he's scrambling to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback, but he doesn't scramble to the right. When it breaks down, he breaks down to the left.
I know there's so much basketball that goes on with SUVtv. This one is caught down to the 10-yard line, down Carter Moore, but that's that little ambidextrous term right there, if you will, for Ben Lippen and Will Taylor. He can do it right and left. I know that's so much of a factor on the hardwood, but on the gridiron, it's an important commodity to have too.
Yeah, he throws a good ball.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying that. I might need to stop saying he throws a really good ball.
It's got to come from that baseball background.
I got to figure out what position he plays in baseball.
Yeah, we're going to do some homework at halftime.
Arm that strong, he plays pitcher or right field.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere, possibly the hot corner. Tackle made that time on Taylor. He was trying to get going, not much going on that time.
Now that's big by the defensive line. Look at the defensive line. They knew that sneak was coming, and so the defensive line shut that down and shut it down in a hurry. Big job by the Lion defensive line.
One of those in on the tackle was Eric Young. Young on Taylor that time for Augusta Christian. Ball is at the 15-yard line with 3:37 to go and counting here before the break. Taylor.
Let's see if they sneak it to Eula.
Yeah, Eula directly behind Taylor in the backfield. Here goes Taylor to keep. Thought about rolling. That one slung in. And incomplete. Okay, so the target was Will Owens.
That was dangerous.
That was.
That was a dangerous pass. Tries to stick it through the middle. I mean, sometimes you rely on that arm strength too much. He has a super arm, but look at him try to stick it in there in the middle. Wow.
Closest to it with a possible pick was J.C. Hansen. Boy, if Hansen had been there another step or two, that would have been Augusta Christian football.
I'm telling you.
Ooh. Second down. Here's Taylor. Handoff. Jeremiah Eula. Eula found some space. A flag comes in. He's tackled down.
Yeah, they've got Eula bottled up tonight. I mean, it just seems like when he tries to go to the inside, is 2 or 3 Lions there waiting on him on the inside. When he goes to the outside, they're stretching him and forcing him out to the outside. They got to find a way to kind of open things up for Eula so Eula can get some yardage somewhere. Got a holding call here. But see, here's the dangerous thing. If they can't get Eula going, they start to key in on Taylor, and that scrambling for Taylor gets cut out. If you don't have to worry about the running back, that scrambling is going to get cut out from your quarterback, and it could be a long night. So they got to find a way to get Eula going.
It's been a good response for Augusta Christian on Eula, who, again, one of the touchdowns for Ben Lippen on the back of Eula, and a dangerous running back to be sure for the Falcons. And Augusta Christian, at least for the moment, has him numbered, if you will. Here goes Taylor. Here comes the pressure as well. Taylor getting close as Bates. Taylor gets the football into the end zone. A flag is down. It is caught by Davis Holt.
I don't know. You want to be careful on that one because I think it might be offensive pass interference. It may be. I think it was a push-off underneath to kind of free up because usually you don't get that wide open. But notice how Taylor's still scrambling to the left. Oh, no, they called holding.
Holding against Augusta Christian.
Okay, so touchdown.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
20-yard touchdown pass.
Okay, so you'll see it again one more time here. Taylor holding against the Lions, so it is a score, 20-14 for the moment, with the extra point pending on the catch to Davis Holt. Holt brought that in. Holder will be Hudson Jones. Terry King trying to make this 21-14 Ben Lippen with 2:57 to go before halftime. Making sure everyone's set first. Again, here at the home of the Lions, you see it there in the back of the end zone along with the other sponsorship signs here at Augusta Christian High School. And the Lions taking on the Falcons tonight, Week 5 broadcast here on SUVtv and the AugBball ball game of the week. There's a look over to the Ben Lippen sideline.
Got the coach over there drinking water. Hey, you're not doing anything. Say the water for the players, coach. Say the water for the players.
And the extra point is up and good for Terry King to make it 21-14. Ben Lippen over Augusta Christian. A couple ticks under 3 to go before the break. But you mentioned water, keeping yourself hydrated as we go. It's certainly not as sweltering out there maybe as it was the first couple games of the season. Reading right now 77 degrees on this Friday night. Normally, first couple weeks of the season, it's still been in the 80s. So I think we're starting to see those temperatures come down, but of course I say that, and I already looked ahead. I took the liberty, if you will, to look ahead in the weather forecast and saw where it's going to be up into the 90s again next week.
Oh, my goodness.
So I remember just 2 years ago when it was 90 plus in October, so we may be in for another one of those falls. That fall starts on Monday, but not necessarily if you look at the temperature.
Welcome to the South.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, this part of the country, that's kind of the reason that a lot of us choose to stay down here. You get the warm temperatures all the way through Halloween almost. But much more temperate tonight, though.
I'll tell you, we complain about the heat now, but come December when you can walk out the house in shorts, you don't really.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like the holiday season, and then you're wondering, all right, well, it would be nice for a little bit of a cool down, but again, beggars can't be choosers, as the old saying goes, I guess. King gets the football away. And to the 20-yard line and then some, out to the 30-yard line on the return that time. Not Vandiver that time. The return was Hunter Newsome. If I have that jersey number right, could also be Ahmad Hunt. Jersey number was wrinkled up a little bit. Yeah, that's Ahmad Hunt. Hunt with this nice return for Augusta Christian.
You know, and that's a nice return. This is his first time returning a kick. And you know what I like? He caught it and went straight upfield. You know, he didn't play with it, didn't juke with it too much. Goes straight up the field, makes a man miss right there, and keeps on running. Good form tackle over there on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. So Augusta Christian, their next drive here, working our way towards halftime. We'll start at about the 25. Blackwell with the carry that time, reaching for the 30.
Will Owens doing it on both sides of the ball, man, catching the touchdown pass and over here making tackles from the outside.
And again, that's the beauty of high school football. You get a smaller roster. You have players who will play defense and offense. I know it makes it easier for us, for sure. I know I've gotten into my fair share of trouble recently and over the last year or two when sometimes you get double numbers.
Oh, my goodness.
College football.
Yeah.
That'll kill you. I know recently we had a team that actually was nice enough to give us a sheet of the double numbers. Thanks for that. So you can see, okay, there's a number 1 on defense, also a number 1 on offense. It's just so much simpler. You can have a lot more space on the board and just makes everything simpler. But again, you go back to not just making it easier for us, but also in high school football, you have players who have the ability and they are given the opportunity to play both sides of the ball.
Exactly. And that's the thing about high school. You know, you play both sides of the ball, and what it does, it increases it increases your radar for college coaches. You know, because in high school you may have to play defensive end, but in college, you're a linebacker side. So what happens, you can show you can play offense, you show you move by playing running back, and somebody will take a chance on you at linebacker.
That's a great point. Yeah, again, that's high school football in a shell, if you will. Blackwell with the carry, not getting much that time. Ben Lippen, Jackson Boyd was one of those in on the tackle that time for the Falcons. Here it is again. Blackwell pretty well bottled up last 2 touches.
Yeah, they're waiting on him up the middle right there. Good job. One of the few times that the Augusta Christian offensive line hadn't dominated on that inside run.
Yeah.
Great job by the defensive front of Ben Lippen.
Well, after Zach Blackwell had a 90-yard burst earlier, it's starting to turn the other direction, at least momentarily. It's Ben Lippen playing a little bit better defense on one of the 2 huge options at running back, at least in terms of numbers. Ooh. This ball is almost picked off for Ben Lippen. That was Graydon Davis who was in.
Hey, it doesn't get much better than that when you play linebacker. Look at him sit. Look at him sit. He realizes the screen, he finds the running back, and boom, try to get the pick. Great job of recognizing the screen. You saw he kind of threw a shoulder at the running back when he came out to kind of slow up that screen. Look at him give a little bump to the running back over here to slow up that screen. Oh, that wasn't the running back. I'm sorry, that's the offensive lineman he gave a bump to. But he almost got the pick.
Almost. Booed away by Blackwell. It'll bound to the 35. Ooh. Stepping out of the way of it was Werner with 1:27 to go before halftime.
See, right there, Warner has to want it. See, when you play returner, you got to be a little bit crazy. Right. When you play punt return, you got to be a little bit crazy and a little bit aggressive. When that ball bounced like that in front of him, he had a few steps. He had about 5 yards in front of him with no one. He should have picked that one up and tried to make something out of it. That's the thing about being a punt returner. A punt returner has to be a little crazy. Yeah. You got to be a little crazy to play punt return.
Yeah, I guess the mindset right there is the football's close. Go ahead and try for it. Of course, I guess sometimes in the back of the mind, you wonder what the outcome's going to be if you pick it up and you have a defender right on you. Mm-hmm. So maybe you're a little hesitant.
High risk,
sure.
High rewards, you know.
Definitely. So some of the interesting dichotomy, if you will, of a football game. The ins and outs, and 2 flags come in.
Offensive line moved a little bit early on that one. I think that left tackle kind of came out his stance, or right tackle came out his stance a little bit earlier. Yep. Now he's going to go and tell everybody he knew the snap count. Everybody else didn't know the snap count.
Yeah, that's how you get the proverbial monkey off your back for the moment to say, it's not my fault. I was ready. How about you guys?
First and 15.
Well, 5 penalty yards, of course, so 1st and 15. Ball at the 30-yard line for Ben Lippen, 1:17 to go before we take our intermission break. One in motion. Here's Taylor. He'll run for it. Taylor to the 30, to the 40, flag in. Will Taylor at the 50.
Oh, late hit.
Right in front of us. Yeah, late hit came in.
And that's going to hurt because it's a holding call back there. It's a holding call, and then that late hit, not being disciplined, hitting the guy out of bounds. And, you know, here's the hard thing about having a quarterback like that who escapes and runs around, and you never get a clean shot on him. Sometimes he gets close to that sideline, and you want to take an extra step to get a hit on him. But look, that's that hole. There's the hole right there. And here's the late hit. Yeah. Going full speed, you got to know how to break down.
Yeah.
You got to know how to break down and just pull off of them. Peel back.
Yeah. Lawton Hill with the hit here at the very end. Number 51 there for Augusta Christian, Hill coming in on Taylor.
You like?
Personal foul against Augusta Christian.
See where they mark it off at. Yep. They're going to take 15 yards back from the hole and then 15 yards up. always think that's the silliest thing ever.
Yeah, you're going plus and then minus.
Yeah, a referee, okay.
All right.
Let's just go ahead and mark it at the spot of the foul, and let's keep moving.
Yeah, good point.
Because referees need a little exercise. They got to get some steps in for their Fitbit.
That's exactly right, yeah.
For the Falcons.
Everybody trying to reach their number tonight, as Taylor was certainly trying to reach there. And late hit by Hill. Here we go now, first down, carry, Eula, and Eula wrangled down at about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, they got a tracker on Eula. They got a tracker. The defensive line and linebackers have a tracker on Eula. They're not letting him get anywhere.
See Eula there just trying to search for any room that he can find, and not really finding much of it. Now under a half minute to go before the break. It is second down. Here goes Taylor. Taylor slings the football. That one incomplete. Target was Davis Holt.
I wonder how many drops. We need to check the stats for Ben Lippen. They've had quite a few drops tonight. Now, that pass was behind the receiver. But I'm a firm believer, and anytime it hits the wide receivers in his hands, he has to catch it. I don't care if it's behind him, in front of him, or whatever. If it hits him in his hands, he has to catch it.
Holt had a catchable ball that time, if you will, and just not able to secure it. Third down. Knocking on the door of one last play here. Possibility of 2 plays remaining, but one more timeout remaining for Ben Lippen. Here goes Taylor. Taylor scurrying around. Taylor to midfield. Well, marking about the 48-yard line.
And he's still doing it.
Yeah.
That's rare that you see a right-handed guy scramble to his left so much. When everything breaks down, he breaks down to his left, and that's rare for a right-handed quarterback to do that. But it works.
Yeah, certainly has so far. And time expires. Ben Lippen was trying to hustle after the clock was restarted, and then it started to roll quickly. And as soon as Ben Lippen got up to the line of scrimmage, just not enough time left to get a snap right there at midfield. So it's 21-14. Ben Lippen, the Falcons over the Lions at halftime. We'll step aside, come back with third quarter action here on the AUG B-Ball Game of the Week, powered by SUVtv. You can stay tuned and check out some of the halftime festivities from right here in Augusta, Georgia. We'll be back with you for the third quarter, get you caught up on the stats, and then go for the second half.
Stolen in the lane by Tracy. Here's Williamson, makes his way around one tight. Now hustling in toward the lane and throws it down. That's what the crowd had been waiting on. A fantastic dunk coming in by Williamson. Elevated from almost the free throw line and finished strong. 7-point lead for Spartanburg Day, their biggest of the night. 3-pointer no good. Crawford in the lane finishes and one. A huge basket for Trinity Burns to get a little momentum and energy back on their side after it seemed like the entire gym was up for Spartanburg Day and Zion Williamson.
What is it about some places? The places where we feel a sense of fellowship, where service is of the highest priority, whether to each other or to ourselves. A journey familiar like a warm bath for the soul. Along the way we may get lost, but we always seem to find a friendly hand reaching out, guiding us the way back there, where we owe it to our younger selves. Just to feel like we're getting a little bit better at us. This place will always be there for you. This place is sacred. Because this place is home.
We're back. We return here to Augusta Christian High School here in Augusta, Georgia. It's the AUG B-Ball Game of the Week powered by SUVtv. A couple minutes before we get going, finishing up halftime here in a 21-14 game with the lead for Ben Lippen over Augusta Christian. Hello again, everyone. Corey Hodges, Sly the Sports Guy, Sylvester Williams. And Sly, a couple first half stats that you were looking at, things that were making the difference. I know you mentioned not a whole lot going on with stats in terms of players accruing those stats, but a couple of big rushing numbers.
Well, I'm going to tell you what jumps off the page to me.
Yep.
What jumps off the page are the stats from Will Taylor. Will Taylor has gone 11 for 15 for 220. Let's restart that one. He's gone 11 for 15 for 127 yards and 1 touchdown through the air. He's also had 10 carries for 140 yards with 1 touchdown on the ground. Now, that's outstanding for a game.
Sure.
He just did that in the first half.
Yeah.
And let's be quite honest, he's 11 for 15 in the air, and he's had about 3 drops.
Right.
They've dropped about 3 passes, and he has 127 yards passing already. This kid can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. You know, he might want to rethink this whole baseball thing. I want to see how good he is playing second base for Ben Lippen. If he's this good at quarterback, we didn't see how good he is playing second base.
Yeah, it's something we were able to find out there over the break. That's the position on the baseball field that Will Taylor plays. You see the catch there. That was the one-handed little bobble and grab for Davis Holt. Some more highlights now from the first half looking at the Ben Lippen quarterback, Will Taylor. And Taylor, when he's had time, he's been able to find open receivers. Again, there it goes to Holt. That was that pass we just saw. It's worth a secondary look because he stopped it with one hand and then brought in the second to complete it. Quite something for Holt, who again had the touchdown as well. You look back now, 3 catches, 57 yards, and a score back in the opening half for Davis Holt. So he's quite something in terms of receptions.
Yeah, quite something for Holt, you know, and I love that little one-hand catch he did. He stuck that big paw up there. Big man got up in the air, too, jumped a little bit, elevated, and came down with it. You know, impressive on the offensive side for Holt. But let's talk about this offensive line. Now, you look on the other side for Augusta Christian, Blackwell. Blackwell has 112 yards rushing. Blackwell has been a force up the middle. It is hard to contain the big man going straight up the middle. Look, well, this time he's the lead blocker. This was even more impressive. Look at the lead block on this thing for the touchdown for his quarterback. Blackwell has been impressive on the offensive side of the ball. So now you got to think, if you're Augusta Christian, you're coming out here, you're down 7 to this Ben Lippen team. The only person who's hurt you has been the quarterback. It's been Taylor. Let's just be completely honest with you. Taylor is the only person who's hurt you, and he's hurt you by scrambling to the left, picking up those big breakdown plays, those big coverage plays. He picks up the big yardage by scrambling to the left. They already assigned a spy on him in the middle to shut down the middle. Now that right defensive end has to do a better job of contain on the outside.
Yeah, a couple more highlights. You see the burst there to the end zone for Zach Blackwell, one of the big 2 on the ground for Augusta Christian. And whether it's Blackwell or Jacob Walker, the 2 to watch for Augusta Christian. The Lions on the ground, again described as thunder and lightning for the Lions. So we're seeing that running game going for Augusta Christian, Sly. And so now moving into the third quarter and beyond, we know we're going to see a big rushing attack for Augusta Christian, but you have to look on the other side to Ben Lippen. Of course, curious about what they're going to do. It seems to all go through Taylor, but the main thing is for Augusta Christian, they're only down by a touchdown. And we've seen them have the ability, especially with that big Blackwell burst, if they get something like that again, that changes the ball game in one play.
One play. The whole game can change in one play.
Well, we're ready to get back going. Third quarter.
Ben Lippen won the toss and they deferred.
Squibber to start, and Ben Lippen will hop on it at about the 43-yard line.
You know, when you see something like that, it makes you wonder, was it designed or did the kicker just miss the ball?
Yeah, good point, right. Yeah, sometimes you do wonder what was the exact emphasis on that.
I like to say it all depends on how it bounces.
That's it.
If it bounces back to Augusta Christian, the kicker will say, yeah, we designed it that way.
You can go back and then say, yeah, that's how we drew it up. That's what we planned for, and hey, it worked out. And if it doesn't go the other way, I guess everyone just stays quiet about it. It goes on to the next play. Ben Lippen will have the first touch, as Sly mentioned, deferring in the first half. That's Jeremiah Eula. He will carry it past the AC at midfield.
And that's one of the few positive plays that Eula's run tonight. They've done a great job of kind of bottling up Eula. But see, here's the thing. That's one thing they want to establish. Ben Lippen, the Falcons, they have to establish Eula. If they establish Eula up the middle or to the side, it takes a lot of pressure off of Taylor.
Yeah, that's very true because, again, Taylor, it could start to boil into maybe a one-dimension style offense if it's just Taylor taking the ball every time and working it. When you add Eula in there, two-headed monster territory, if you will. Eula carrying it close to the 45.
And see, look at that. 2 carries for about 12 yards right there, picked up the first down. Just last week, Eula was nominated by the state newspaper as Mr. Richland County, as one of the finalists for Mr. Richland County this year. Now, I'm going to be quite honest with you. They nominate the kids during the 3rd week of the season. I think that's a little bit too early to give the finalists, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's one of those early season awards that certainly the player and his family appreciate. You have to wait as you go, as Davis Holt unable to reel in that football.
Got to pull it in. Got to pull it in. Now, Taylor throws a hard ball. He does throw a hard ball, and maybe, some of these young high schoolers, I don't know, man. That hits you there. You got to – you want to sugarcoat it and be nice, but sometimes you just got to be honest. You got to catch the ball. You play wide receiver.
Yeah, Davis Holt has a touchdown, and that was probably his best grab of the night. And that's really the second time we've seen Davis Holt be wide open, just not able to collect the football. And that's much to the chagrin of Ben Lippen, to the enjoyment of Augusta Christian. Here goes Will Taylor. Taylor scrambling. He does this a lot. A little spin move, but pretty well held back that time. The tackle made by Vandiver that time.
89,
And also Garrison Bates. We've called his name a few times this evening.
Yep. A little bit of help. A good job over there by Sam Hatcher also on the outside, playing outside backer. Look at him come up, break down. You see how he broke down? You can't go diving in out of control. He broke down and mirrored the quarterback. Good job by Hatcher.
3rd down. Taylor trying to step up. Flag comes in. Taylor is still on his feet. He's not down yet. Scurrying to about the 35-yard line.
Taylor, he had 140 yards rushing. Now let's take back all the penalty yards, all the rushing that he had on plays that were taken back because of penalties also, man.
Yeah.
Oh, they called it against Augusta Christian. They called face mask.
Oh. So Taylor's run then gets improved upon by the penalty yardage. So Ben Lippen's walking up. Speaking of baseball and Will Taylor, more on that in a moment. I know obviously baseball season in terms of minor league ball and obviously summer league baseball. College season has been over for a couple months. You're starting to get into fall training time now, but I know for minor league ball around this area, it's pretty much all wrapped up. But still, big in the mind of Will Taylor. Taylor, way back he goes, and now a hurl, and that one to Davis Holt. Holt was trying to get up high to reel it in. Credit the defense that time of Kevin Walker.
Walker did a good job of staying with his receiver and getting a hand on the ball. Look at Taylor. Now he's scrambling over to his left, stops on a dime and throws it, man. God, he throws the ball well. Ooh, and he didn't touch the ball. That's another one that hit the hands.
It's 3 tonight for Davis Holt. 100% Sly. He's had 3 catchable footballs. That could have been for another 6 points. Here's a handoff to Jeremiah Eula, and Eula is just not getting anything right now.
Yeah, that Lion defensive front is waiting on Mueller. They're waiting on him, and he has to step up. He has, you often wonder, who do you blame in a situation like that? Do you blame the running back? Do you blame the offensive line? Who's the fault? Somebody has to step up and make a play. Third down, big defensive down for Augusta Christian.
Interesting note on Jeremiah Eula. We'll touch on that in a moment. Here goes Taylor. Back he goes. Taylor lofts one, open and pulled in by Evan Werner. And Werner gets into the end zone for the touchdown for Ben Lippen. And the Falcons go up by another score.
A 30-yard bomb. How did you get that wide open, young man? That's all you had to do was just wait on that one to fall into the breadbasket. Look at that. A lot of time by that Ben Lippen offensive line, and he just had to be a breakdown in coverage somewhere because he was wide open.
Closest to it was Vandiver, and then sneaking in there late was J.C. Hansen. Extra point is up and good by Terry King. So King, that EP, as you look over and see the Ben Lippen head coach, and that's James Reynolds. Reynolds happy for his team. They lead 28-14 over Augusta Christian. Ben Lippen doubling up the Lions, so it's time now for a Lions response. Again, we have a couple things to catch up on. We'll do that the next time Ben Lippen has possession of the football. Again, that's the big story so much, obviously, in high school sports about, what is the next step? Where are you going from here? I know you've been through that before, going from high school to college. I guess it's something that we could almost talk about every single week because it's always that story. We've been talking about that pretty much since week one. But, in the case of someone like Will Taylor, and again, this is something that we can brush on again when Ben Lippen possesses the football after Augusta Christian, but it has to be a tough decision, of course, because you have so many options. You also, I guess, have to be a little bit blunt as well about your own talent, about, where can I go and still be successful that's realistic.
And, Taylor has one more year, man. That ceiling is really high on that young man.
Good point. Yeah, as a junior, he has time to get even better. That's well said. Augusta Christian, they have the football. The return is brought out by Ahmad Hunt. Hunt gets it to about the 40-yard line.
Now, that's a strong return right there. That is a strong return. Is it another flag on the field? No? Okay, no flag. I thought it was a flag out there on the side. I'm so used to seeing flag. Yeah, it is a flag on the field. Another penalty, man. It's been a sloppy ball game, man. A lot of costly penalties, man, because that was a huge return. Yep. A legal block. A block in the back. Can't really see where it comes in at here.
Block on Augusta Christian.
But both teams have committed a great deal of costly penalties. You had 1st and 10 out and around the 40-yard line. Now you got to back it up, to the 20.
8:58 to go, third quarter. Time, deep ball by Robertson, and wide open, but the football is dropped as Kevin Walker had it at about the 30-yard line, just could not complete the play.
And that was a really good throw downfield, too. That's some arm strength out of that young man. Look, he has a step on him. He's downfield. He has to slow down just a bit. He has to wait on him. Does he get a hand in there and knock it free? That is a great job by a DB. That's a great job by a defensive back. Look at him get his hand in there at that last minute and poke it away. That's a great defensive. Oh, look at the punch. Did you see the punch?
Yeah.
He punched that one free.
That's your man, Joshua Plush. Plush with the punch out of the football to keep Kevin Walker from reeling it in. Second down. Blackwell with the run that time. That's Zach Blackwell for Augusta Christian. And Jacob Walker, again, there's that big running back duo for the Lions. Third down coming up. Everything would be different already here. Again, it's a little too early to start talking about it would be a little bit different or what could have been because we still have a full quarter and 8.5 minutes to go. But this drive would look a little bit different right now had Kevin Walker been able to reel in that football.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's a game of inches.
That's it. Sam Robertson. Graduates next year. 2020 graduate in the senior season. Here's a ball that is intercepted. That one is picked off by Wade Davis.
Robertson pass intercepted.
Davis got in for the pick for Ben Lippen.
Great job of reading that pass by your free safety. Your free safety, look at Davis lined up here on the far side of your screen. He's going to drop back just like every great free safety does. Look at him open his hips. You see he opens his hip and follows the ball and right there and just picks the thing off. You know, that's a tough one if you're Augusta Christian. You know, as a quarterback, you want to throw that thing out there far. You got to throw it over that safety. If you got a good safety, he reads it just like that and picks it off, man. Great job of defense by the safety, Wade.
Sam Robertson trying to go deep on third down. And then you'll see number 29 for Ben Lippen, Wade Davis, coming in to pick it off. Davis, the senior DB, also plays wideout.
And they're going to walk it up some. Got a penalty on the play.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Lions.
Personal foul, you know, unsportsmanlike conduct. That's not keeping your composure. You know, that's letting your emotions get the best of you. And Coach Van Hook is letting them know. He is letting somebody know over there on the sideline he doesn't like what happened.
Yeah, Tyler Van Hook, head coach of Augusta Christian, with some words there to the team, trying to get them to recover as Ben Lippen's up by 2 scores and trying to make it a little bit more as Eula has the football that time on the carry.
Because here's the thing, when you lose your composure like that, it hurts the team so bad because it's a 2-touchdown game, but there's plenty of game left.
Sure.
It is too much time left to make just a slight thing of losing your composure for 1 second can really put your team behind the 8 ball.
Second down. Taylor sends Eula in motion. Eula fully set that time. Pressure comes on Taylor. He escapes out of it. Will Taylor scooting to the 25, to the 20, and run out of bounds.
Taylor on the run out of bounds.
You know, he's like Houdini back there. You know, he's a bit of a magician. And one thing I like about him, he knows when to get out of bounds, and he knows when to use that sideline and kind of cut back and take it back in bounds. He realized he didn't have anything, so he just beelined it out of bounds. Smart player, man. Smart player.
Yeah, he's got the brain for sure. Again, so much talk, of course, around the country. We should be very proud considering, you know, where we all reside, whether it's in Atlanta or Charlotte or Columbia, as Taylor. Pressure is all over him. Taylor trying to get away from Eric Young. And throws the football away, incomplete, just trying to get it out of danger to Evan Werner. Werner not able to reel it in. We'll have another look at it here.
And they want the intentional grounding, but he was well outside of the pocket. The question is, did it make it back to the line of scrimmage? That's the question. Did it make it to the original line of scrimmage? Let's see. Hard to tell. It was close. It was close, and, you know, he was throwing it in the direction of somebody. He was outside of the pocket. So, you know, it's hard for the referees to even call that, illegal grounding.
Yeah, with number 73, Eric Young there of the Augusta Christian defense, he was speeding up the play. That ball is incomplete. Target
another
was Owens. Will Owens that time, incomplete from Taylor.
I think that was another drop. I think so.
Yeah, you'll see it here.
Look at the crossing route. Nice route. Gets behind the linebackers, underneath the safety. Oh, my God. It hit him in the hands again.
That says it all right there.
Will Taylor's going to have a talk with his receivers on the bus ride home.
Yeah.
When they watch that film session tomorrow or on Sunday or whenever they watch film, he's going to have a talk with those receivers.
Again, if the football is loose, Taylor.
Penalty flag.
Flag comes in. Taylor had to hustle that time to secure the football.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our movement on the offensive line. False start. That same tackle, I think, got a little jump. The right tackle, look at the right tackle, gets to going a little early. Let's see what happens.
3rd and 15.
Yep.
Yep.
Matter of fact, this is the second time tonight doing the exact same thing. The rest of the line has to get on cue with this young man.
Yeah.
He's moving at the right time. Everybody else is moving late.
Josh Lower at tackle. Here's Taylor. Taylor slings one incomplete again.
Another one.
Target was Holt.
And he's putting it on the money.
Yeah.
The passes don't get much better than this. Look at this pass. They ran the inside slant here. Boom. Oh. You don't make many friends like that.
No, the one fortunate thing here is that Ben Lippen, again, leads by 2 touchdowns, but Taylor, it's about the 5th one tonight in terms of a well-thrown football that was just not caught, and I think everything would be a lot different in the mindset of the Falcons and this entire team if some of these other footballs had not been caught, specifically for head coach James Reynolds of Ben Lippen, but because of the 14-point lead for the Falcons, you can't necessarily excuse those plays, but they're occurring in a football game in which Ben Lippen leads by 2 touchdowns. So,
because see, these are plays that can put the game away. These are plays when you're up and you need to go ahead and step on your opponent and put the game away. You know, you have to catch this because not only does this affect this game, when you go down the road and you're playing the Hammonds, you're playing the Heathwood Halls, you're playing those schools later on in the region schedule, if you can't catch against Augusta Christian, you're not going to catch 2 weeks, you know, later when you're playing some other region matchups.
There's always an eye toward the future and what lies ahead, and the way you're playing now could definitely impact what happens later, even in a game in which you lead by 2 touchdowns. Here's Taylor pointing one out, ball on the way, and that one incomplete. Target that time.
Oh, did he get the interception?
Okay, picked off, yes.
Yes, diving interception over there.
Interception, J.C. Hansen. Good look that time, Sly. Here it is.
Look at the young man go after the old tip drill. That's the tip drill.
Target was Holt. 100% tip, yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Tip drill. Good job right there of being aware. When you play that safety and you're rolling out like that, you have to always be aware. And every team in America, from Little League all the way up to the NFL, they practice the tip drill. They practice that tip drill and let that DB come up with the ball. Great job by the DB.
The other TD in football. Here's the handoff. It'll be a run to start for Augusta Christian as Zach Blackwell will take it.
Yep. Good job over there by Davis of breaking down on the end. Davis comes off the edge, unblocked. No one touches him, and he breaks down right here. Breaks down, waits on that train to come and grabs him and just pulls him on down. You know, Blackwell's like a big bus rolling through there. He's a tough man to bring down, and Davis just hung on.
Augusta Christian has their own Jerome Bettis. It's like that new commercial that's out now.
Oh, my goodness, I love that.
I love that, too. Here's another breakout, the Jerome Bettis of Augusta Christian, Zach Blackwell. Blackwell had a 90-yard rush back in the first half. He gets another big bundle. He's down to about the 20-yard line.
I'm telling you, man, that Blackwell, when he comes through that line on that little inside, I think he has a guard, kicks out. The guard's pulling, kicking out right there, and he's coming straight through. Blackwell's a load, man. And when he gets that head of steam, man, he is a tough guy. And look at the form, man. I like the form he runs, man, straight up and down, like it's Eric Dickerson out there running, man. I like Blackwell in the open field.
Yeah, we've got some Lone Star-style football here tonight. So much great football in the state of Texas. That's where Eric Dickerson came from. And in terms of big runs that time, that was a Texas-sized run that time for Blackwell. The catch was Walker. He was tackled down pretty quickly. Second down coming.
Yeah, right there they tried to run the little quick hitter to the outside, letting one receiver block for the other, and hopefully getting the running back out in the flat to also block. That play right there, when the receiver catches it, he has to stick his foot in the ground and turn straight upfield. You can't cut back and come inside because what he's doing, he's coming back toward the traffic. He has to put his foot in the ground, go straight up the field.
Robertson. In the backfield is Blackwell, football is lost, and Ben Lippen will come in to scoop it up. The scoop, Todd Haney. Haney is still running. Rather, that is Will Owens. Owens coming up with the football, and Owens will take the fumble into the end zone for a Ben Lippen touchdown.
Touchdown by Owens, the old scoop and score. Scoop and score for 75 yards. Look at that. Who poked that ball loose?
Robertson was faking the handoff to Blackwell.
Can we catch this?
Oh, the tackle was, yes.
We don't have a name.
Closest to it was Seth Trapp on the roster, but
it was 79. I hate the fact we can't give a young man credit, but 79 poked it free.
Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, Trapp. That's the closest number to it.
I love to give credit to the young man when it's due.
Well,
Mike Johnson, Matt Johnson with the poke, with the forced fumble.
Thanks to our friends here in the Augusta Christian press box for the help on that one. Appreciate that. All the way back for Owens, who scooped it and scored.
Scoop and score.
Now that changes this ball game quite a bit. It's now 34-14, and the extra point coming here for Terry King. Just a case there. It's so unfortunate for Augusta Christian after the big Blackwell burst, and Robertson just some trouble with it on the faked handoff. Extra points good for Terry King. 35-14. Here it is again, and a closer angle at it. You see Robertson wanted to get it to Blackwell.
Look at him come around the end. Good job coming around the end right there.
And then it was Will Owens getting to the football here, securing it, and then plenty of help. About 5 or 6 Falcons behind him to.
Now here's the thing. Owens he just had a 75-yard fumble return. I wonder if that erases his on the offensive side of the ball. Some of those drops on the he'll totally forget about those drops. Hey, I took it back 75 yards to the house, baby.
Yeah. Needless to say, on the again, game's not over yet. Ben Lippen does have some breathing room now, 35-14, but Ben Lippen will probably be traveling the same route as I a little bit later, going back up to Columbia, South Carolina. And if I come across the bus like I did after the Grovetown game, it could be a bus with some lights going on inside. And it could be bouncing, possibly going back if Ben Lippen's able to hold on. But Augusta Christian, tough fumble there. But
you know, judging by the performance, Will Taylor might be driving the bus.
Taylor's been something tonight, and tackled down at about the 42-yard line, and return for Augusta Christian that time, taken out by J.C. Hansen. Here's Hansen's return.
First down for the Lions at their own 41.
Now here may be the drive of the night right here for Augusta Christian.
Yeah.
Right here, Augusta Christian has to figure out what's working for them. Blackwell up the middle has been huge for Augusta Christian. They have to buckle down. They have a huge, massive offensive line. Let's buckle down and let's get a heavy dosage of Blackwell right here. If you're Augusta Christian, you want to get a heavy dosage of Blackwell.
Augusta Christian, football at the 40-yard line. Robertson, that one is incomplete. Target was Walker. Second down.
Because right now, third quarter, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go, plenty of time left in this game. And you don't have to abandon all hope and just start slinging the ball. There's plenty of time still to run it, because this is high school.
Sure.
High school, the clock stops after every first down. So you still have a lot of time out here to establish that run. Spread out the defense and run straight up the middle.
Robertson. Ball is dropped. Target was Tristan Trent. Trent had it right to him, and Trent could not corral it. Third down.
We're going to have to check that ball, man. There's been a lot of drop passes out here on both sides. We're going to have to check that ball.
Yeah, it's not just afflicting Ben Lippen. It also seems to be the affliction of Augusta Christian, at least for the moment.
You know, even though he didn't get credited with a tackle or anything on that play, Graydon Davis, number 10, playing outside backer, has been doing a good job on the defensive side for Ben Lippen. You know, way to cover that.
Robertson, pressure comes. Robertson steps up. Sam Robertson still on his feet and shy of midfield. Fourth down.
Number 29, Wade Davis.
Got to go for it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're down 3 touchdowns, you know. Got to go for it. But see, here's the thing, is 4th and 5. With this, what I would like to see, I want to see them spread out the field. Spread out the field. Balls in the middle field, and give it to Blackwell straight up the middle. Give it to him up the middle. He can pick up 5 yards. Oh, good job. Good job of discipline. That's the second time tonight.
Yeah.
Second time tonight, Augusta Christian has been super disciplined on the offensive line to draw Ben Lippen offside. That's a great job. You know, sometimes you got to give a shout out to the offensive line coach over there. Find the offensive line coach, give him a raise.
Yeah, right.
Give him some more money.
This Augusta Christian team, again, led by head coach Tyler Van Hook. And they are down by 3 scores, but that's a first down for the Lions. Crowd gets to respond. For Sam Robertson at quarterback, just about 2 weeks ago, received the Scholar Athlete Award and on the All-A honor roll, 3.75 GPA, a whole lot better than where I was at in high school.
I'm telling you.
Come on. Also in the Beta Club, the Spanish Club, an AP student, 2-sport athlete, football and baseball. This one is caught at the 50-yard line. Squirting out for a couple extra there at the end was Kevin Walker.
See, that play right there, the quick out, the little one wide receiver screen, that's a high risk, high reward play. In order for that play to work, the 2 wide receivers have to make a block. The 2 guys out there playing wide receiver, they have to block for that 1 wide receiver. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a ferocious pancake block. They just have to get in front of their man so they can help out that wide receiver son.
Robertson scurrying. Robertson to his left, out at the 35-yard line.
And see, that's the key right there. They're picking up their yardage on the ground. They're getting the first downs on the ground. That offensive line, they're powerful. They're bigger and more powerful than Ben Lippen. You have to keep pounding it right here. It's still plenty of time left in this game. Got to keep pounding. I thought he got out of bounds. The clock is running. Clock should be stopped. Oh, yep. Referee wound it up.
Okay, so 2:36 to go here in the third quarter. Fortunate enough to have one of the officials here in the booth with us. And
there you go.
To basically act like our
So it's my job just to talk, not to do the rules.
Right. Here is a shovel pass that is caught. It was just a toss back to Terrence Vandiver.
Trying to run that speed option. This time they're running the speed option to the 2 receiver side. They've been running the speed option to the weak side. But what happens when you run that speed option to the 2 receiver side, that means there's more defenders on that side. The reason they were successful running it to the other side, because the matchup was more favorable for the offense. You know, if you're going to run it to the 2 receiver side, those 2 receivers got to block.
Sure. Yeah, that could make the difference in the play. Here's handoff. Vandiver. Vandiver hit pretty quickly. The tackle that time, Jay Reese.
Hey, that's a big-time tackle by the defensive lineman, senior defensive lineman Reese. Reese came in there and cleaned up. A guard pulled. I think maybe a tackle or a guard pulled. And look at Reese follow down the line. Follow straight down the line. Boom. Where that guard pulled, Reese came right in that spot and came in that hole and made the tackle. Good job by Reese.
Third down.
Yeah, penalty on the play somewhere out there. referees got their workout.
Sure have. It's been busy tonight.
Personal foul. Personal foul.
Yeah.
You know, those are those just composure fouls. You know,
It remains second down.
those are the things that as a coaching staff is unexcusable.
Yeah.
You know, it's no excuse for those. Holding, okay, you may have slipped up. You know, you may have made a mistake, but personal fouls.
Ball snapped at the 47-yard line. Vandiver almost tackled. Now he finally is. Missed one and then brought down again by Jay Reese. That's another big tackle for Reese for Ben Lippen.
Reese's came up huge on these two plays right here. You know, they tried to set up that screen pass, but Reese came up and made a huge stop right there by Reese. Good job.
Fourth down.
See, look at him dropping into his curl zone right there, dropping into his hook curl. Now coming right back and boom, coming up and making a sure tackle.
Really a decision that is born out of necessity here, considering what the score is. 35-14 Ben Lippen with clock rolling and about 40 seconds left here before the end of the third as the Falcons, or rather the Lions, will send it away to the Falcons. They'll get to the 40 and go out. Not a very good kick that time.
And then they got a generous spot from the referee too.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the hard things as a referee. Is really hard to judge the spot of the ball when it goes out of bounds on a punt like that. Because as a ref, you have to figure out the ball's in the air. You got to figure out where it went out of bounds in the air, not where it landed at out of bounds. So that's a tough job by the ref of getting the spot.
Yeah, I think it's easy sometimes for those of us on this side of the field in the press box to think, well, I've got the toughest job for sure. I've got to call the plays. If I get something wrong, it's going to come back on me. And you know, in the case of our entire crew here, calling the action, filming the action, describing it, but no doubt the toughest call, just like in baseball. We've had some baseball-football comparisons tonight, courtesy of Will Taylor. The toughest job is for the men in black and white. Here's a carry for Eula to the 45-yard line.
And I think here with a 21-point lead right here, you're going to see a lot of Eula going into this fourth quarter.
Yeah, with about 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Quite the story on Jeremiah Eula. We'll have it for you when we start the fourth quarter. You'll be very interested to know where Jeremiah Eula came from before he arrived at Ben Lippen. We have arrived at the end of the third period. 35-14 Ben Lippen over Augusta Christian on a Friday night around Martinez, Georgia. We'll come back, fourth quarter action, the AUG B-Ball Game of the Week powered by SUVtv.
Now hustling in toward the lane and throws it down. That's what the crowd had been waiting on. A fantastic dunk coming in by Williamson. Trent, off balance jumper.
We're back here in Augusta, Georgia. Corey Hodges here with you on SUVtv, along with Sly the Sports Guy, Sylvester Williams. It's AUG B-Ball Game of the Week, powered by SUVtv. Fourth quarter, here we go. Catch, Davis Holt.
Great job of Holt of just looking that ball in. You see how he slings it? This route right here, this is a combine route. If a quarterback can throw the 10 to 15-yard out, that's an NFL route. That's what they judge you on in the NFL combine. If you're a quarterback throwing the 10 to 15-yard out, that was about a 7-8 yard out, but still.
First down. And carry by Jeremiah Eula down to the 36-yard line. Well, that brings up the story of Jeremiah Eula. We promised this to you before we stepped aside. You'll see Eula here running, but this is the running back for Ben Lippen, Jeremiah Eula, the senior, Came in undersized at 5'6". These were some of the words from Wednesday night when we had a chance to talk with head coach James Reynolds for Ben Lippen. Undersized Jeremiah Eula came to Ben Lippen. He came out of Dutch Fork. He left Dutch Fork High School to come to Ben Lippen. Dutch Fork, a whole lot of A's. That's 5A Region 5 in South Carolina in Irmo.
Three-time state champion.
That's it. Three-time state champ. Sly, you said it, as Will Taylor is on the move, and Taylor will be tackled down just shy of the 20-yard line. But not only three-time state champs, they're undefeated this season. They've had such a long run of success. And James Reynolds for Ben Lippen saying that Jeremiah Eula, as you see Taylor on that last play with a flag down, saying he worked so hard in the weight room. He benches 315, squats over 400 pounds. And to see him break out has been so cool. That's what Coach Reynolds said for Ben Lippen on Wednesday night.
Full disclosure here, Corey.
Yeah.
I will never in my life root for anything Dutch Fork Silver Fox.
Of course.
I'm born and raised Columbia, South Carolina. Went to Columbia High School. When they formed Dutch Fork my ninth grade year. It took a third of our high school population, dropped us down from 3A to 2A. I will never in my life root for anything Dutch Fork.
No, I can understand why now that we have the explanation, but there's no doubt the success of Dutch Fork is mesmerizing. They're right there in the conversation annually with Gaffney and Burns, the top talent in South Carolina when you go way up the ladder. As Taylor, another flag coming in, Taylor scrambling, football, that's a one-handed almost catch. That one is picked off. It's ruled an interception. Picked that time for J.C. Hansen. Hansen got in on it as the ball was bobbled on the fingertips of Chris Twitty. Augusta Christian football.
Beautiful play. Once again, tip drill. Staying with the ball. Good job of scrambling by Taylor.
Target was Twitty. He just disappeared out of your screen. You'll see him here again. Twitty almost again went, OBJ.
Wow.
Wow. But not to be. Interception. Hansen came in to pick it. And you called it, Sly, again. Tip drill.
Look at the DB just staying in the area, staying there with him.
The Lions will take possession.
And ball pops up. Whoop,
yeah.
Right into the hand.
At their own 35.
Okay, so time to get something going here for Augusta Christian, working our way towards 10 o'clock. Getting late in the evening, late in the ball game. Here we go. Robertson, handoff to the 40, a little bit more. Breaking out is Vandiver. Pointing out the flag, Sly. I see one down at the 35.
Yeah, delayed handoff. Anytime you run that draw, that delayed handoff, that means the offensive line has to block a little bit longer and therefore opening up your chances for a hold. And there you have it. There's your hold. There's your hold. Tough call for the offensive line right there to pick up the holding penalty on that play.
So Augusta Christian stepping back.
From the 25.
Ball will go from the 25-yard line, first down. Again, Augusta Christian coming in with 2 wins on the season, 1 loss. Here goes Robertson. Nice spiral. Football is caught, brought in by Kevin Walker. What a catch.
Oh, what a catch. What a catch. Young man went up with both hands, looked it into his hands, and caught it with 2 hands. Great catch by the young man on the sideline. Look at this. Look at the route he runs. Look at him. Breaks coverage from the defender, gets behind the defender, and goes up. Gets the ball at his highest point. If you're a receiver, you want to get it at this highest point. Great job by the receiver.
Walker beats Prescott Jefferson. He picks it up for a first down. Augusta Christian's in business. Football, 45-yard line. Here goes Robertson. Robertson trying to get out of trouble. Robertson, and incomplete. Target was Hatcher that time.
Good job of Robinson of rolling out, rolling away from the pressure, rolling away, keeping his options open all the way to the sideline, and then he throws it out of bounds. Just a good heads-up play right there. Nothing was there, and he threw it out of bounds. Didn't try to force it in there. Good pass. Well, good attempt by Robinson.
It was close that time with the target Hatcher. Second down. Ball will be snapped from the 45-yard line. So Augusta Christian's in Ben Lippen territory. Robertson, feel like the momentum may be trying to come back here to the Lions. Robertson gets out of trouble to the 40-yard line, now to the 35. He goes out of bounds and a hard hit at the end. We can hear it from up here.
You know, they're asking for a late hit, but that wasn't a late hit. He got him on the sideline. He did a good job of putting his hands as he was running out of bounds. That was a legal hit, but what happened, the quarterback just ran into that fence, and that's a tough fence. If you look at this, look at it in slow motion and look at the sideline. Nah, he got him at least 2 yards in bounds. He was at least 2 yards in bounds when he pushed him. It sounded a lot, it ended a lot worse than what it really was. Because if you look at him when he gets his hands on him, he's in bounds. He's way in bounds.
Fans, please step back from the fence.
And
Please step back.
He's way in bounds. So it was a legal shot. It was a legal shot, you know.
just one of those things where audibly it was.
Yeah, it sounds a lot worse because of where the fence is.
Right.
And here's the thing. It's understandable for the fans to be upset because they're not watching it in slow motion. We have the advantage here on SUVtv to see this in slow motion and see exactly where the hit took place. So it's understandable for the fans to be upset. But when you watch this in slow motion, he was at least 2 yards in bounds when he pushed him. So
Yeah, you'll see a Mariano Casio there with the crutches. He was injured a little bit earlier. That was something that Robertson also had to deal with as he came in. Made a little contact there with Casio, who was trying to get out of the way. And it looks like Robertson is still down. That situation still being addressed. And we've come to a pause for obvious reasons here with 9:28 to go in regulation. It's Augusta Christian football, but quarterback Sam Robertson scurrying out of the pocket and pushed out of bounds and then falling forward, making some contact with the fence and then the lower part of the grandstand. We'll have another look at it.
yeah, see if you look at it, he's in bounds.
Yeah.
He's in bounds. It's momentum. See what happens? Both of these guys are moving so fast. It's just the momentum, and that's why it looks a lot worse than what it was. But young man's a tough guy.
Yeah,
Robertson's a tough kid.
Sure is. Sam Robertson there, quarterback number 2, Augusta Christian. He'll take a seat. Looks like everything's okay as Robertson.
And you know what I like what they did? The precaution. Notice he doesn't have his helmet.
Yeah.
The trainer or the coach, the training staff took his helmet, so now they're going to evaluate him and make sure he's okay before they give him his helmet back. Because back in the day, if they didn't take that helmet from some of the kids, they'll run back on the field.
Right.
It's a tough guy. It's a gladiator sport.
New quarterback in here for Augusta Christian. That's Grayson Brooker. And here's a run for Vandiver down past the 30-yard line.
And see, class of 2023.
Yeah.
Young freshman Booker in the game. I like what Coach Van Hook did right there. He gave a nice run, a nice run to Van Diver up the middle, so the young freshman can go ahead and get his bearings. This is his first time in the game. This is his first. Matter of fact, I don't think he's thrown a pass yet all year.
No. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And this football is dropped. It's recovered by Vandiver at about the 40-yard line. Almost trouble there for Augusta Christian. Fortunately, number 22 on it for the Lions.
Yeah, he hadn't thrown a pass all year, so here's the thing, you got to get him acclimated to the game. And they're working on Robertson's back over there on the sideline. You got a trainer over there, I think, rubbing underneath his pad on his back.
Yeah, we can see that from our angle here in the.
Now the young freshman has to put it in the air.
Yeah, Brooker on third down. Instead, it'll be a handoff to Vandiver. Vandiver broke out of a tackle, trying to scurry back now. He's pushed ahead to the 35-yard line.
By number 29, Wade Davis.
And first down will be a pretty good ways away here coming up for Augusta Christian on 4th down.
Yeah, fourth and 10. You got a young freshman in the game, you know. It's not a situation that you hope for.
No.
But you got to make it work. And here's the thing, you know, these kids now, man, he's a freshman. He's too young to be nervous anyway. You know, he's too young to understand the situation. So he's ready.
You're just in it and going. Brooker, this is trial by fire. Football in the air.
Oh!
Kevin Walker was there, but Walker, the pass is broken up by Plush.
Hey, that was a nice throw by the youngster, though. Still, that was a nice throw by the youngster.
That looked good as gold until Plush got in there.
Look at him. He gets the snap, flips the ball over, and just throws it up there.
Nice ball by Grayson Brooker. Almost.
That's hey, you know, for your first throw ever in high school, that's a good throw by the youngster.
It's pretty.
I'll take it from him about his first throw ever.
Sure, going to Kevin Walker, and someone who's been reliable tonight at times for Augusta Christian, and almost. That would have been big for the Lions. They would probably be set up in a position now to try to get a touchdown. Unfortunately, it's been Lippen football, at least unfortunately for Augusta Christian. Here's a handoff to Eula. Eula scrambling out, 35-yard line.
It's a good job over there by Eric Young. Eric Young managed to make the tackle while he was being held on the play. Looked like he wasn't being blocked. He was being held and still managed to make the tackle for a loss.
Yeah, we've uttered his name on a few occasions so far tonight. Again, coming in, Ben Lippen after the loss to First Baptist, a game in which Ben Lippen led big in the first quarter. Taylor got out of a tackle. A flag comes in. Taylor still on his feet, and he's out of bounds now.
Got a flag on the play over there on the near side of the field.
Noah Smith looked to be the one who was hustling up Taylor here. It was Smith.
Man, Taylor is hard to bring down, man. Look at him stop and go. He is a hard guy to bring down.
For Noah Smith there, number 56 of Augusta Christian, he was praised for his work ethic by head coach Tyler Van Hook in our conference call on Wednesday, calling Noah Smith the Tony Bennett man, if you will, the rags to riches story.
Second down.
Smith, a relentless worker, and he's come a long way, as Coach Van Hook for Augusta Christian saying he was a tackling dummy as his first freshman year experience, and then got better and better and better. Third down. Taylor, pressure. Taylor, flag down. Will Taylor gets out of trouble, still going. Taylor almost to midfield. We'll call him down at midfield.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty, though. That's going to be coming back. But here's the thing about Taylor, man. This guy's out here just looking like Houdini.
Whew.
Just running around. He's hard to bring down.
Yep, padlocks, box, underwater, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Houdini and David Blaine all rolled into one. Taylor, again, Diamond Prospects, one of the top scouting surveyors in college baseball and also high school baseball. Diamond Prospects has Taylor as the 4th best outfielder in the class of 2021, as Sly mentioned earlier. It's the junior year for Will Taylor, quarterback of Ben Lippen. Recruited as an outfielder was Will Taylor, second on the Ben Lippen team, baseball team this spring. Hit .432 and had 24 runs batted in. Trying to bat in something here. Incomplete. The target again was Davis Holt.
No, they threw a flag on that one. Ooh.
From the reaction of the crowd, sounds like it's against Augusta Christian. Here you go.
Did he get a hand in there? I don't know. I don't see the pass interference. Maybe we'll get it from a different angle. He got there a little early. He got there a little early with the shoulder. It's close.
Ahmad Hunt for Augusta Christian.
It was close.
we play on.
It's 3rd down and 9.
3rd and 9. Ball from the 40. Taylor. Here comes the pressure. Taylor gets rid of the football. Incomplete to Werner.
Again.
Wow.
4th down.
Again. They're going to have a serious talk. This wide receiver core, man. Will Taylor's going to have a serious talk with them during film session. Because even if you look at the 2 interceptions that he threw, they both went off the hands of Falcon receivers.
Deep for the Lions.
Augusta Christian will get the football back. And Taylor bouncing around and then boots it. A ball that will roll to the 25. It's stared down there by Prescott Jefferson.
Lions will take possession at their own 25.
That rugby style kick right there, you know, it gets the roll for you. You know, when you don't have that solid, strong super kicker, or even if your punter is just uber athletic, like Will Taylor, that rugby style kick, that kind of roll out kick, just opens up so many options for you. You know, as a punting team.
Well, going back to the numbers on Taylor, baseball-wise, Augusta Christian will have the football back, but Taylor mentioned the 432 mark in hitting, 24 runs driven in this spring for Ben Lippen. Also had 8 doubles, team leading 4 triples. That's where all the speed comes in. And the Falcons went to the SCISA 3A championship game. And down goes Brooker. Again, Grayson Brooker in at quarterback following the injury to Sam Robertson, who went out a couple plays ago when Augusta Christian last had the football before Ben Lippen got it back.
Hey, you know, Corey, for all our listeners out there, man, we love having watcher participation, you know, viewer participation. Be sure to tweet us, man. If you're watching this live, or even if you're watching it a couple of days later, tweet us at SUVtv. Let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, let us know. And as you always bring up Sly, of course, we're on Twitter as well. If you always let me go first, I'll let you go first this time. But in the meantime, it's Vandiver who's tackled down. But they can find you on Twitter where?
They can find me on Twitter at Sly the Sports Guy. What about you?
I'm on at @the_Corey Hodges, COREYHODGES. Give us a follow.
Yeah, give us a follow, man. Give us a tweet. Let us know how we're doing. Matter of fact, if you watch the pregame show, tell me how good looking I am. I like to hear.
We already know that.
There you go.
Sly looks crisp and fresh. He's ready to go.
I tell you.
This ball is caught by Bates.
You know I got my letter from GQ.
Did you really? Did you
Yes,
get it?
I was 51. You know, they do the top 50 best looking men. I was 51.
Come on.
I demand a recount on that one.
Yeah.
You know, but I was 51. I'll take 51 out of, 10 billion people on the planet. I'll take 51.
Yes. Missed it by that much.
That much.
Well, that's the old joke right there. The what was it? Steinbrenner on Seinfeld. I'm reading the 50 most beautiful people. Ball in play, bounds to the 45-yard line. So we'll call it the 48 on an extra rotation or two. That's where Ben Lippen will take over. Really not much cooking that time for Augusta Christian, unfortunately, for the Lions. And again, we must reiterate, Grayson Brooker in at quarterback, the freshman for the Lions. Just an unfortunate situation here with Sam Robertson, who will not be able to complete this ball game.
Yep. You know, and that's one of the things about that close sideline, you know. You play on that close sideline, and football is such a high-speed game. Such a high-speed game. You got players going, giving their all, and they come to that sideline, and that wall comes in real tight. And I think he may have tweaked something in his back maybe. I saw him rubbing his back a little bit. So
saw Robertson there wearing number 2, the quarterback for Augusta Christian, who's out of the football game. On the sideline, Taylor will hand off to Jeremiah Eula, rolling at about the 41-yard line.
on number 73.
Eula has to cut that up. Look at him going to the outside. The running lane is on the inside. The running lane, that's on the left side. So the lane is in the 5-0. He's going to the 7 and trying to get to the 9. He needs to go to the 5.
Well, it's been a story of missed drops or missed footballs tonight, just drops of the football on about 5 or 6 occasions. And yeah, that's very true. Stick 'em. That's where it comes in at. Hey, Kimberly Garner is watching us tonight, Sly, and she has a special comment for you.
Hey, man, the fan club is out there. I do love them. They do love them, and they love me. Thank you very much.
Thanks to Kim Gardner for tuning in tonight to our broadcast. We certainly appreciate the support, and Sly likes his compliment.
Hey, thanks for having great taste.
I know, right? Come on, that's absolutely terrific. Hey, Kim, what about me? Yeah, I look nice too, right? Come on, now I was working out this summer. I was ready to go. I said, if I'm going to be on camera, I got to trim up a little bit. Okay. Thanks, Kim, for tuning in. We are certainly indebted to you for your support on this Friday night. The entire team here is. We really appreciate it. Here's a carry down to about the 35-yard line that time. Eula again. You're right, Sly. He's getting some late-game work here.
You know, and this is the time, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go in the game. You're just going to get a lot of runs right up the middle, trying to run this thing on out and take it on home so they can go back to Columbia with the win. They don't want to get anybody injured. They don't want to try anything different, It's about the sportsmanship. You don't want to go up over the top with a 21-point lead. Just go ahead and run it on out and go home with the win and everybody healthy.
Hey, Kim just let me know. I look amazing too. Thanks, Kim. That's great. Jeremiah Eula down to the 20-yard line. That's great. I got a compliment here, and when I get back home later, I'm going to ask my wife. I look amazing, right? Because I got a compliment on the broadcast, and you agree, right?
Hey.
She's probably going to say, come on now, you don't look that good. You're all right. Or she always says, you're all right. You're all right.
Hey, so you're good looking enough she chose you.
That's right.
There you go.
I guarantee you that Talacia is watching right now. She's probably, what? Here's a handoff to Eula. Jeremiah Eula to the 15-yard line.
There he is. He's putting that 400-pound squat to work there, running through the line, carrying a defender on that one. That leg strength.
First down.
Should also mention my father, Mark Hodges, tuning in tonight. I want to thank him for the support. And he went back to the note that you had a little bit earlier, the whole stick 'em comment about stick 'em on the gloves. A lot of those drop footballs tonight. That's what Dad used at Bassett High School as part of the Bengals back in the 70s.
There you go, man. Put some stick 'em on there. Wet those gloves. Get them sticky.
Get them going. New ball carrier in for Ben Lippen. The carrier that time was Henry Rhodes. 54 seconds left.
Henry Rhodes getting a piece of the action right there. I think that was Rhodes' first carry of the year.
Yeah, I didn't see his name on the rushing stats. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Rhodes with the football that time. And
hey, he picked up 8 yards. First time he carried it all year. Not too bad.
That's obviously frowned upon in terms of high school athletics, but if there was fantasy in high school, I don't even want to go there. Can't even think of that, but that would be one of those little late game, a couple points. Okay. And Taylor will go ahead and back it out, take a knee.
There you go. I think that'll be it, man. The funny thing, the victory formation is either the greatest formation in the world or it's the worst formation in the world. Just depends on what side of the ball you're on.
Depends on your perspective. That's the final tonight, 35-14. Ben Lippen able to get the victory over Augusta Christian. The Lions and Ben Lippen were in a tight ball game going towards halftime. Lippen had the advantage at the break, but then it was Ben Lippen taking advantage of a fumble and a recovery. Some good defense on their side against Augusta Christian, and they were able to get the victory tonight as Ben Lippen started out the season 41-6 winners over Pinewood Prep, and then it flipped. It fell to Hammond in week 2, 42-7. I mentioned Hammond a little bit earlier in the Augusta Chronicle Power Rankings as one of the top teams in this region. As we look back on some of the highlights from earlier, one of the touchdown throws, and that was Evan Werner, who dropped one, a couple there late, but Werner had a nice score there.
It doesn't get much prettier than that one, man. He just dropped that one right in the breadbasket. It doesn't get much prettier.
Big bounce back for Ben Lippen, too, after falling to First Baptist after a big first quarter last week, but they wound up falling in that game. That's one of the prettiest catches of the night.
I'm telling you, man, the big man got up, elevated, put that big paw up there and brought it down.
Davis Holt with the catch there, one-handed. Some more highlights now as we roll through the AUG B-Ball, powered by SUVtv Game of the Week postgame show, and Werner getting that one.
Hey, man, who do you think? Time to go with that SRA All-Star Bowl player of the game, man. Who do you think you want to give that one to?
I think for Ben Lippen, I don't see how you stray away from Will Taylor.
You got to. You got to. Will Taylor just had an awesome game on the offensive side of the ball. I don't have the final stats here. I have to walk down there and get the final stats. But he threw 2 interceptions. But even with those 2 interceptions, technically they went off the hands of his own receivers.
Right.
You know, I'm really, really impressed by Will Taylor. I'm really impressed by that young man.
Taylor, again, going to Clemson. He's committed there to play baseball, but again, there's rumblings of possible football in the future for Taylor. Again, a look back here at Augusta Christian tonight. Some of their plays. First in at quarterback, of course, was Sam Robertson. Robertson would later go out late with about halfway through the fourth quarter remaining as Robertson. This was the big fumble right here. Robertson lost it, and then it was scooped up by Will Owens, and Owens came back for a fumble recovery for 6 points. Owens was gone after this, went all the way to the house. That one really hurt Augusta Christian as Owens was off to the races and broke the spirit at that time for Augusta Christian. And the Lions had some opportunities earlier in the opening half, just not able to capitalize late, a couple mistakes, but they had a nice burst, in fact 2 big bursts for Zach Blackwell. This is one of them here as we look back at some of our statistics here. It's Blackwell, he really got stopped twice. There was another big run like that as well. Here it is, it's Blackwell, he almost had 2 70, 80, 90-plus yard runs to the house. He finishes up, Sly. You have the stats for us now. 11 carries, 171 yards. Got a touchdown, but really, he honestly probably should have had 3 touchdowns.
Young man, I love the way his explosiveness going through that hole, man. He just exploded. Look at this, man. He goes through, and it's like a shot out of cannon. Those arm tackles aren't going to bring him down, man. And look at him, just explosive, straight up and down runner. Big-time run by Blackwell. That was 84 yards on that carry. Yeah,
that was one of the big bursts of Blackwell, 171 yards, and Blackwell now on the season in terms of his rushing numbers. He's able to really blow them up. He came in with 215 yards. He'll go now well over 300 and then some. He's into 400 yards and change on the season as Zach Blackwell. Sam Robertson on the ground carried it for 7 times for 50 yards, had a touchdown on his own. Robertson 14, 5 and 1, attempts, completions, interceptions. And Robertson on the ground again was a little bit more sporadic at times and a little bit more consistent in terms of his ground game. Grayson Brooker again came in for Robertson, went 2 for 1 and had a yard. Kevin Walker, 4 receptions, 31 yards. Bates was in there as well along with Vandiver. And on the other side for the victorious Ben Lippen Falcons, who get one on the road, you see Taylor, 14 rushing attempts, 164 yards, 1 score, and a long burst of 37.
I'm telling you, just impressive doing it.
Sure is. Taylor, quite something tonight, both aerial and on the ground. So that'll finish it up tonight. 35-14 is the final as Ben Lippen gets the victory over Augusta Christian. We're back next week for Week 6, scheduled to go to Grovetown, Georgia. Again, we'll have those complete schedule results, tell you where we're going next week on Twitter at SUVtv. For the entire staff, Sly the Sports Guy, Sylvester Williams, everyone that makes this broadcast possible, Marcus, Lisa Burnett, everyone on our team, I'm Corey Hodges saying so long on this Friday night from Augusta, Georgia. We'll talk to you next week. So long.